Craig will be live in just a few seconds. We got a lot to cover today. Huge stuff. Of course, these major updates involving the Fox News channel, which are huge. The big lineup change at Fox, some huge stuff on Ron DeSantis, and a whole bunch more. I mean, it's like difficult to decide what story I'm going to start with, but I figured it out. Here we go. Here we go.
A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome already. Thursday. Can you believe it is Thursday morning already? My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. This is, of course, the political show of record in the Florida radio markets, plural. And, of course, this is where MAGA comes to talk. And we have so much to cover today. Major updates on a story that broke yesterday I talked about on my podcast last night, involving a major, desperate move by Fox News Channel with a lineup change. We're going to get into that and the updates. Huge Ron DeSantis news and some more bad news for Ron DeSantis. See what happens when you go against Trump, and that's just a couple of things. We have about 7-8 hours worth of content that we're going to squeeze in the next 3 hours with your calls. But I'm first going to start with the Fox News lineup change, because the fate of Laura Ingraham is, well, I think it's been decided and they're dancing around it. But it came out yesterday in the most surprising place of all, breaking news of an announcement of a lineup change at Fox News Channel, and it came on the Drudge Report. And I got to tell you, I honestly cannot remember the last time I got breaking news from the Drudge Report. It's been over 10 years, would be my guess. The last time I can really remember going to the Drudge Report for the latest news was in the 2004 presidential election. That's a long time ago, right? So that's like 19 years ago. But there must have been something in the last 19 years. I just don't remember. But the Drudge Report broke the story yesterday of the lineup change. And this is an amazing story because, you know, we talk about polls all the time. And, you know, I don't pay a lot of attention to polls, even the ones I talk about. What I pay attention to in polls is the trend. And the trend is President Trump is just, you know, hitting home runs everywhere against single-digit Ron, as we were talking about yesterday. But there are some things that are better than polls. The viewer exodus by MAGA from Fox News Channel has taken a devastating toll on Fox News Channel. And they were so desperate over there that on Saturday, for the first time in years, they were going to carry a live Trump rally, the Iowa rally that was canceled due to the bad weather. Fox News Channel was going to carry that rally on Saturday night. First time they've done that in years, in a desperate attempt to get MAGA people back. People are upset. They fired Tucker Carlson. So people have left, and they haven't gone back. Desperate move, desperate move. They've been in third place. You know, Fox News lost to Newsmax. Lost to MSNBC's Rachel Maddow. I mean, they're just getting destroyed. And what leaked out on the Drudge Report, and then I got the follow-up here, which I'm going to get to in a moment, but what leaked out on the Drudge Report was a major lineup change for the entire primetime lineup at Fox News. And this was going to be the change. Sean Hannity, who's been on at 9 o'clock forever, since the Fox News Channel has been in existence, they're going to move Sean Hannity to the 8 o'clock time slot where Tucker has been, and of course Bill O'Reilly and Megyn Kelly. They're going to move Sean Hannity to the 8 o'clock time slot. Jesse Waters, they're going to move to 9 o'clock from his 7 o'clock slot. And then get this, at 10 o'clock, Greg Gutfeld. Well, where does that leave Laura Ingraham? She's not even on the list. Isn't that something? Yeah. And when this story leaked out on Drudge, immediately members of the media went to the PR person at Fox News who didn't even know about this. See, the Drudge Report sadly has become so irrelevant. Breaking news on the Drudge, like 3 people see it. So they didn't even know about it. And then all day went by with this, and no word on Laura Ingraham. She's not in the lineup change. Are they firing Laura Ingraham? And it looks like they are, because there's been a statement released. And let me share this with you, because let me go through this story. And when you hear what Fox News Channel has said, it's not good for Laura Ingraham. I do not like Laura Ingraham. The only reason she's on television and was nationally syndicated on the radio is she's very well connected with these Lincoln Project people and has been since the 80s and 90s. So she's one of these Republican establishment insiders. A lot of people don't realize that. And that's why someone with such, I think, mediocre talent, and she's rather annoying to watch. She was very annoying to listen to on the radio, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. That's how someone with those negative qualities has made it so big. But this is a Mediaite. Fox News released a statement Wednesday blasting left-wing activists who took to Twitter and reported that the network planned to fire primetime host Laura Ingraham after Matt Drudge reported on the primetime shakeup at the network. Because, right, they Hannity at 8, Jesse Waters at 9, Greg Gutfeld at 10. Where's Laura? She's not even mentioned. The Drudge Report dropped a siren-blaring headline teasing major... And let me tell you, this is what's crazy. The Drudge Report used to be my first stop every day when I got up to do news and show prep. It was, and I would go there throughout the day. Everyone did. This story dropped on the Drudge Report yesterday morning, and no one started reporting on it until the early afternoon. It was up there literally for hours before anyone noticed, because people don't go to the Drudge Report anymore. The Drudge Report dropped a siren-blaring headline Wednesday morning teasing major scheduling changes at the longtime dominant cable news network. The site eventually reported Hannity would take over the 8 o'clock slot, Jesse Waters 9, and Gutfeld at 10. And by the way, other news sites picked this up, as did Charlie Kirk, who knows all the principals involved. Then this happened. A Fox News spokesperson reacted to Matt Drudge's report, saying, "No decision has been made on a new primetime lineup, and there are multiple scenarios under consideration." Isn't that something? So they didn't say, no, don't worry, Laura's going to be there and we're going to have a show. They don't say that. Isn't that something? Drudge's reporting never mentioned Ingraham because she wasn't part of the story. So what does that mean to you? It sounds like she's out and on her way out. So, and I'm going to throw this out to you, and I do have a lot of other stories, but I do want to hear your thoughts on this. Would this get you back to Fox? You know, to me, it's an incredibly stupid decision, and it's a desperate decision, and it's going to make matters worse for them, because they're taking some people, Gutfeld in particular, and Jesse Waters, who have a history of success, taking them away from whatever loyal audience they have and changing their time slot. Same thing with Hannity, whatever loyalty he has left with his audience, changing his time slot. It's a big mistake. But what it does is it confirms that the MAGA boycott of Fox News has not only been successful, it's been incredibly successful, and Fox News is on the verge of complete collapse because they're no longer relevant. They're going down the tubes. They've been beaten by Newsmax. They've been beaten by MSNBC multiple times since Tucker left. It's getting worse. So now it's going to get worse because I promise you, some people who have left Fox News found their way back. You know, that's what happens when people are in recovery from something. But now people are going to be re-energized to make sure that they don't watch Fox News because they've just signaled to us that, well, we're winning against Fox News, right? They become the DeSantis network. They've been trashing our President Trump. They've been blacklisting President Trump and his family, Don Jr. in particular. And there's nothing they can do short of putting Kim Guilfoyle back on the 5, giving Don Jr. the primetime show, and going full course MAGA that would get any of us back, in my opinion. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. This is an amazing thing. And it also shows you the power of the MAGA movement. This is better than any poll. This is pure 100% MAGA. All these Republicans that aren't with us, that are on the DeSantis train or the establishment train or whatever train they're on, they're not part of the Fox News boycott. I am. I know many of you are. But it truly shows you how powerful MAGA is. Look at what we can do. With no organization, just word of mouth, stop watching Fox for what they did. Boom. I know they call us a cult. No, we're an organized activist organization, and that's okay. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Does it sound like Laura Ingraham's fired? What are your thoughts on this lineup change? Is there anything Fox News could do to win you back? Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. My name is Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action.
Oh, man. Not good for the Fox News channel. We won, right?
It's Brian Craig
and that's a good thing.
Like a
we won.
Camera? You get a doorbell camera.
Where am I?
Doorbell camera, and you get a doorbell camera. Wish I had them for everyone, but the first
Hold on.
channel listeners
Oh, yes.
who call 1-833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera.
Oh, yeah. They Bud Lighted themselves. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. They Bud Lighted themselves. If they put Kim Guilfoyle back on the 5 and gave Don Jr. the 8 o'clock show, I know MAGA people would go back. I mean, come on. They're not going to do that, though.
Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to dial 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield.
Just because she's intelligent doesn't mean she's not a pleasure to watch or listen to. She's annoying.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa.
She's very annoying.
And I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day to finally get them free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad.
I didn't like her radio show either.
Go to mypillow.com.
I didn't know she was Lincoln Project until a couple years ago. I didn't know how connected she was. I wondered how such an annoying, mediocre talent could be syndicated on the radio and get on television. Now we know.
716-4879. Promo code Kane.
Well, MAGA's strong. That's the way it is.
We're all about community. With like-minded people in business, the chamber will help your business grow, and you get to connect
Exactly.
with people that will become your best friends. Weekly events give you ample opportunities to learn alongside talented professionals. At the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce,
Make sure you guys like the video. That helps grow the channel so much when you like the video, guys.
DelrayBeach.com.
Do you suffer from knee pain? Have you been told that you have bone on
And make sure you click the notification bell. I know it's only Thursday, but I'll be live streaming over the weekend. There's too much going on. I'll be definitely live streaming over the weekend.
That include rehab and injections that can prevent you from having to have surgery or prolong the surgery. We've been in practice for 75 years in South Florida. You don't have to live with pain any longer. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome back. Callers on hold, stand by. Our number toll free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I remember when I first started doing this a long time ago, we used to have toll-free numbers for people to call in on cell phones. It was Bell South Mobility, and I can't remember the other one. And I remember it was 3 letters. One was star something, the other one was pound something. I remember the numbers. I just don't want to give them out on the air. But yeah, toll free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Because back then, to call on your cell phone was 40 cents a minute. Remember that, when it was 35 and 40 cents a minute to talk on the cell phones? Oh my goodness. So we had these toll-free lines put in. Bell South Mobility, I remember the numbers very well because I gave them out 10,000 times, a week. But I can't remember what the other phone carrier was. Whatever. Listen, do you or someone you know or love suffer from neuropathy? If you do, you know it is torture. Neuropathy, doctors will tell you there's no treatment for it. Steve went to his, not just primary care physicians, he went to specialists, neurologists, and they said neuropathy is your life now, and it is living torture. I've said many times, instead of waterboarding the terrorist and Guantanamo Bay, if they would have given them neuropathy, they would have sung like canaries. It's that bad. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in your hands and feet, muscle weakness, dizziness, loss of balance, muscle twitching, the feeling of pins and needles in the hands and feet. Sometimes people have no feeling at all. Sometimes they have all of these symptoms in rotation. They have multiple symptoms. A lot of people have neuropathy and don't even know it. But there is treatment, and a treatment that works at Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. It worked on Steve Kane and many people in this great listening audience. Call Lighthouse Medical and make sure you mention you heard them on the radio. You get a free consultation if you do. And no matter where you're located, they can help you, even if you can't make it into the office. Online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Their number is 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. It works, guys. I've seen it. Oh, man. All right. Let's take some calls. I got a new ad put out by the president, President Trump, which we're going to get to in a little bit, too. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian, it's the mask lady. In
Yes, yes.
Can't get you on the radio. I don't understand.
I don't know. Maybe.
What is the AM station? I always listen on FM. I can't even get you on it.
Well, it's possible that there's a technical issue with the station. I don't know, but AM 1470.
1470. Okay, thanks.
Okay, yeah. This is the, and I'll tell you, I love radio, and I've always been a big lover and listener of radio. I listen to radio all the time. I love radio, and it's super cool, especially local radio. I love local radio, and I used to call every show in town. I used to call DJs and request songs and everything. Did all my life. But I'll tell you this. This is the only radio show where people are, and we have the greatest listening audience here on the Steve Kane Show. We really do. And I know people always say that about their audience. I really mean it. Steve and I appreciate you and this audience. Our radio station appreciates you so much. I have been listening to radio shows my entire life. This is the only radio show that I've ever heard when people call in when they have difficulties getting us on the radio. Have you ever heard that on another radio show, Mike? Probably not. No. That's how loyal the audience is. And believe me, that's appreciated. Even from the mask lady who doesn't like me at all, she's, upset. She can't hear. AM 1470 on the AM. But you can always listen online. Go to trueoldiesfla.com. Trueoldiesfla.com. That's our radio station website, and you can always pick our radio station up there no matter where you are. There's many other ways too, but that's a couple. All right, good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Michael.
You're right. I mean, think about it this way. Paul Ryan has been on the Fox board since 2019, and in the last 2 years, there have been a lot of lineup and personnel changes at Fox.
Yeah, but what they're doing now, this is probably, this analogy I'm going to make is I know is the most overused analogy in the history of analogies. But with this lineup change, all they're doing is rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. It doesn't really matter. I mean, they're sinking fast. And, you know, they hate us, and they think we're stupid.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I mean, look, everybody has seen the Titanic, you know, that movie. And what happened at the end of the movie where
Mike's funny.
Where the two main characters were trying to get to the top of the boat before the boat sank?
Yes.
What they're doing here.
Okay, so who's trying to get to the top now? Is it Laura Ingraham with who?
Fox is the sinking ship.
Yes.
And the people that run Fox are trying to get to the top of the boat before the ship sinks.
That's right. Hey, listen, appreciate the call, Mike. I love him. No matter what I say, Mike's going to find a way to. He's very smart, clever there with the call. You know, the thing is, I think they want to get rid of Hannity. I really think they want to get rid of Hannity. Moving him out of that time slot is setting him up to fail. They pay him way too much money, and I think it's a move really against Hannity, more so than Laura Ingraham. I don't know, but I'll throw it out to you guys. What do you think their plans are? Now, President Trump has a new ad that I want to play for you, and it's a beautiful ad. I may play this a few times on the show today, maybe once an hour or something. It's a great new ad, and President Trump just dropped this. Listen.
2024 is the final battle. If you put me back in the White House, the reign of corrupt Washington establishment will be over, and America will be a free nation once again. With your support in this election, we are going to complete the mission. We are going to finish what we started.
The survey shows Trump leading Biden by 6 points in a 2020 rematch, 45% to 39%.
Stand with me, and together we will defeat the globalists, the Marxists, communists, and the rhinos, and we will restore the American Republic as the strongest, freest, and most powerful nation the world has ever known.
Donald Trump with a growing and commanding lead over Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, 62% to 16%.
This is what we must do to save our country from destruction. I have no doubt that we will together win the presidential election of 2024 and make America great again. We're going to do it.
Oh, man, that's a great ad, isn't it? I love it. It's President Trump's latest ad. And, you know, the Durham report, I know we got a lot of fake MAGA and, no one's arrested, nothing's going to go. You know, that when President Trump comes in for his second non-consecutive term, I mean, this is only the second time a president has had a non-consecutive term. Was it Grover Cleveland? I can't remember. I always forget who the other one was. But President Trump is going to come back with a mandate to do everything that he wants to do, that he promises to do. And what that Durham report is going to give him the power to do is clean the deep state up. I mean, they're done. And the cable news cycle is now irrelevant in our society. The deep state, you get rid of the deep state, you get rid of the cable news influence, which is part of the deep state, and boom, we got our country back. It's going to be beautiful. All right, our number's toll free, 1-888-GO, Kane 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631, a toll-free call no matter where you're located. That's 888-465-2631. You're listening to the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio this year. My name is Brian. We'll be right back.
Radio great again.
I think you're going to really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Another scorcher for South Florida. We hit 92 yesterday in West Palm today, heading for about the same. Plenty of sunshine, and then we're unleashed with some stronger storms later on this afternoon and evening. I'm WPPF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Furniture, Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture, voted in the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Earlier, police activity cleared up in West Palm Beach along I-95 heading northbound before Southern Boulevard. All delays have subsided on the approach. The major expressways are moving up to speed between Boca Raton and Jupiter. The surface streets are also crash-free. In Hollywood, police activity is still closing North Park Road northbound from Hollywood.
I gotta play this to see if the language is okay.
Right now is 46th Avenue.
People's president. Ron DeSantis, there's a couple of things. I love Ron DeSantis as a governor. I don't think 2024 is his time. I think 2028 would be more suited for him. However, he's going to have a hard time competing with Donald Trump, and here's why. Donald Trump is the people's president. When I go to a Ron DeSantis event, he shakes the hands of his VIPs. When we come to a Trump event, he shakes the hands of the people. There's a big difference there. This is Trump's country. I saw the DeSantis stuff on the way in. You're not buying it? No, I'm not buying it. I travel the country for him, and I see how the people feel about him, so. Because DeSantis is here today as well. Yeah, but DeSantis doesn't have the fan base. He doesn't. He's wasting his time. He needs to focus on Florida. Ron DeSantis, there's a...
I said I wanted to make sure that there was no language that I'm not allowed to play on the radio with that. I'm going to play that on the air after the break. Yeah, my wife is going through some health problems. She's not doing well. In fact, she's in such a bad state. I had to go to the pharmacy at 3 a.m. to pick up a prescription for her that her doctor ordered in the middle of the night.
Commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now, 954-604-4602.
Yeah, she needs it.
604-4602.
I got to speed home right after the show today.
Contracting.com.
Making any health and lifestyle changes can feel overwhelming, and at One Life Health and Performance, we don't want you to have to do it alone. Our dedicated team of medical professionals, including our physician, Ken Winnard, certified health coaches, medical estheticians, and patient care coordinators. At One Life Health and Performance, our team of dedicated medical professionals work side by side with you to create a customized plan. Look and feel your best for years to come. Visit us online to learn more. OneLifeHealthAndPerformance.com. Trust One Life Health and Performance to have you looking and feeling your best. Offering medical weight loss plans, peptide therapy, personalized health plans by Dr. Ken Winnard, hormone replacement therapy, IV therapy, and more. Visit OneLifeHealthAndPerformance.com today to learn how you can make your dreams of looking and feeling great a reality. OneLifeHealthAndPerformance.com.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours for one of those big labs.
That's a great Trump ad, isn't it? It's amazing. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Kathy got me a Bible that has me reading the Bible for the first time. Really. She got me a Charles Stanley study Bible. It's such a good Bible. Maybe I'll show it to you guys on one of my live streams this weekend. I'll tell you, it's got all of his study notes in it, Charles Stanley. But the font and the print is so pleasant on the eyes and easy to read. I don't know what it is. I'll show it to you guys on a live stream this weekend. Because it's if you don't have this particular Bible, you got to get it. I'll show it to you so make sure you get the right one.
At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing
Yeah, because there's a lot. Charles Stanley they have a lot of, In Touch Ministries has a lot of Bibles. But this one is just like amazing. I know, Kathy and I met him once. We went to a service at his church many years ago. It was pretty cool. Of course, we sat in the front row since we were visiting. We got there really early to get in the front row. And we were on TV. Yeah, he just died. That's right. That's right. Welcome, everyone. I'm Brian. It is the Steve Kane Show. Call us on hold. Stand by. Our number toll-free, 888-GO-KANE-1. Boy, that was a great Trump ad that I played there before the break. So if you're just tuning in, just to recap, it leaked out yesterday of a major lineup change at Fox News that did not include Laura Ingraham. Hannity at 8, Jesse Waters at 9, Greg Gutfeld at 10. No spot for Laura Ingraham. I know. She must be flipping out. I know they told her it's not true and some liberal made it up and everything else. She's just got to be in a complete panic. Did anybody catch her show last night just to find out, which she had to look terrible. Going on the air after a story like that circulates, that ain't easy. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Me?
I can hear you.
Awesome. That's Sean from Riverside, California.
Hey, Sean.
Working over on the West Coast. I heard similar scuttlebutt that it was a prank or a ruse and that Ingram's job is okay. But you know what? If it's not officially listed, there should be reason for concern because Fox has been looking to put...
Well, Fox didn't deny it. They say there's a whole bunch of scenarios being discussed. They didn't say, none of this is true. It's all lies. And I got to tell you something. I'm not going to say the name of this person yet. A very famous Fox News personality had their assistant text message me yesterday afternoon. I was driving around in my car. I got a text, and it's one of the big Fox News personalities, and which it's not Hannity, Jesse Waters, or Gutfeld. I'll tell you that. Okay, it's someone who was not mentioned in the lineup changes, and they're obviously very nervous if they're text messaging me.
Well, I'm not going to speculate whom that might be, but I'll tell you this. A good example of someone who's been getting the shaft in these news programs for years is Lou Dobbs. You know, when he talked about...
Well, he's gone. He's been gone for years. He lives here in South Florida now. But, you know, the person that texted me last night is how should I say that? Is a source for me. A source. So it's someone who's a well-known personality at Fox News Channel. They are MAGA 100%, I'll tell you that. And they're worried. There's panic over there.
Well, the thing is Rupert Murdoch's kids have been notoriously liberal in the past. No reason for them to change in the future. So we have to start inventing our own platforms as MAGA, as American patriots, and just as people with free will. Let's get together, put our money behind those that support our causes. You saw the train wreck of Miller Lite trying to follow up on Bud Light.
Yep.
These corporations aren't going to learn until they are bankrupted and they implode.
Look, there's a new Ford ad out for a Ford truck that's got the rainbow flag on it in a cross-country race against a truck that's not gay. It's so bizarre. They haven't learned from Bud Light.
It's almost as if it's a bit of satire to tell Americans, hey, if you don't get in your acting gear, this is what the far left socialists are going to bring to the table, which actually is the truth. They are, it's a bad time when you have drag queen shows in churches across the country.
Oh my goodness!
And that is part of breaking down the societal construct and breaking down the fabric of America. When you attack the family, you confuse the children, and all of it to push a depopulation agenda so that the few can control the many.
Mm-hmm.
Replace the many with either robots, AI, or make the new masses that are coming in work for less wages and, of course, be afraid of their handlers, so they work in sweatshops as opposed to good paying jobs. And
what do you do in California that has you up at 3:30 in the morning Pacific time?
Well, I'll give you a little inside baseball. I actually do security work at a place that supplies eggs to all the major grocery store chains here in Southern California. And a good example of the way they're screwing with us is Costco laid off 7 of the 15 truck drivers here. We're going to count the contract. And then Costco turns around and tells everyone there's no eggs on the shelves when the fridge is full of eggs. The only joke for me as a security guard I get away with is they've never told me what to do here if the eggs hatch. Ha ha.
Oh, that's pretty good. All right, well, hey, listen, eggs are so expensive now. They need security. Just like these basic necessities are like luxury items. Eggs are like caviar at the these days. Hey, listen, thanks for the call. Great call, by the way. There's so many conservatives out in California that I feel like they're held hostage. Don't you guys feel like they're held hostage all the time? It seems that way to me. Now, I want to play this audio that is really amazing. This is an interview with two different Trump people, MAGA people, two MAGA women, and they're talking about the difference between our great president, Donald Trump, the greatest president ever, and Ron DeSantis, who's jetting off to New Hampshire again. We're approaching hurricane season here in Florida, and that's a serious business. We really need our governors focused on Florida when hurricane season comes. Hurricane season, it's not just when a hurricane hits in the aftermath. There's a lot of preparation that goes into hurricane season. And as opposed to hanging out and moving to Iowa and New Hampshire, I'd like him to do some hurricane prep here for the state of Florida. But hey, I guess we're on our own. We are without a governor right now. But anyway, listen to this. These are just regular voters. And I think they might have been at the Iowa rally that got canceled. It doesn't tell me exactly where they are, but they're talking about the difference between President Trump and Ron DeSantis. Listen to this.
DeSantis, there's a couple of things. I love Ron DeSantis as a governor. I don't think 2024 is his time. I think 2028 would be more suited for him. However, he's going to have a hard time competing with Donald Trump, and here's why. Donald Trump is the people's president. When I go to a Ron DeSantis event, he shakes the hands of his VIPs. When we come to a Trump event, he shakes the hands of the people. There's a big difference there.
This is Trump's country. I saw the DeSantis stuff on the way in.
You not buying it?
No, I'm not buying it. I travel the country for him, and I see how the people feel about him, so.
Because DeSantis is here today as well.
Yeah, but DeSantis doesn't have the fan base. He doesn't, he's wasting his time. He needs to focus on Florida.
Yeah, he's wasting his time. And I like this first person said that President Trump's the people's president and Ron DeSantis is this elitist. I'll tell you, the people's president, that kind of comes from the people's princess, Princess Diana. Donald Trump is Princess Diana and Ron DeSantis is Meghan Markle, right? Who thinks she's Diana. Yeah, I mean, that's that connection that people have with President Trump, these haters, they'll never get it. They'll never understand it. They're jealous of it. They think we're nuts. And we just want our country to be free. And that's such an important difference, though, what the first person said. DeSantis shakes hands with the VIPs. Trump shakes hands with the people. That tells you everything you need to know about the two. DeSantis, all this talk about DeSantis, they're saying now, I was reading, let me pull this up, Trending Politics is, and this is being reported in multiple places, Ron DeSantis' 2024 presidential campaign launch is imminent. They're saying next week. In the latest poll I shared yesterday, the Florida Atlantic University poll, in Florida, among Republican voters, he's 28 points behind President Trump. Keep in mind, he's the sitting governor and he was just reelected. He wasn't reelected because of himself. He was reelected because of President Trump. And all this business of them giving him credit for flipping Dade County Republican, President Trump, right before the midterm election day, had a massive rally in Miami for Marco Rubio and others, okay? Because that Val Demings-Marco Rubio race was very important, and that rally that President Trump did, which was not his first Miami rally, is what has flipped Dade County, not Ron DeSantis. And Marco Rubio has had some role in that too, who's MAGA. Maybe he wasn't in 2016, but he's all right now. And, if Ron DeSantis is basically 30 points behind in Florida, he's not a viable candidate. That's just, it's a joke. It really is truly a joke. And that doesn't mean that he's not doing a lot of things that are good. He's signing some of the most conservative things that a man has ever signed. But we had a call towards the end of yesterday's show from Juan in Coral Springs. He's a big DeSantis guy. He hasn't woken up yet to what DeSantis really is all about. And I told Juan, I said, what he is doing is, it's a conservative equivalent of virtue signaling. He's doing all these uber conservative things to try to convince us he's with us. He lied to us. He said that he would not run against Donald Trump. He said Brian could come down here and snatch President Trump and take him back to New York. He wouldn't interfere when he could. I know Carrie Lake. I know if Carrie Lake were our governor, she would have moved into Mar-a-Lago. Okay? They'd have had to go through her to get to President Trump. And when President Trump went up there on his own on Trump Force One, Governor DeSantis didn't even go there with him, which he should have done. I wish I could have been on the plane and gone there with him to New York that day and supported him. I know Carrie Lake, if she were our governor, she would have. Right? And DeSantis didn't do it. DeSantis was hoping that whole Bragg incident, which have you noticed has disappeared from the news, I don't even talk about it in the news any longer, would finally turn us against Trump. Nothing's going to turn us against Trump. Okay? And he could announce next week. I think he's going to go down in the polls after he announces. The more people get to know this guy, the more they don't like him. And people don't like liars. They don't like traitors. And it's amazing to me that all these people pushing DeSantis just ignore the Florida polls. Oh, he just, he had a historic win in Florida. Well, look at the polls today. H.W. Bush 41. Let me give you an example. At the end of the Gulf War I, do you know that George H.W. Bush 41, had a 90% approval rating in this country? It was actually a little over 90%. 91, 92%. Isn't that crazy? That's unheard of. A 90% approval rating Bush had. Bush won. H.W. And then what happened? A year later, he lost to Bill Clinton. Now, there are a lot of factors in between and things happened. But DeSantis is done, and this is a joke. And anyone out there who's a Republican voter, I'm not talking about these Karl Rove, Bush hacks, and political establishment members of the Uniparty. If you're a Republican voter, this is not a time to pick teams. Okay, I'm a DeSantis Republican, or I'm a Bush Republican. There's only one. You're either MAGA or might as well be a Democrat. All right, we're going to take our last break of the first hour. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I'm Brian. Don't go anywhere. Back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr.
What's that? Who knows? It could be her radio. Oh, is the station off?
It was having problems yesterday, and they reset it, but if she's calling him and saying it's still off,
yeah.
he said he's going back on.
Yeah, people do that all the time when anytime they can't get... Sometimes, I don't know if it's 95.3 or 1470, but when the power, because every month the time we go to high power changes. I don't know, 95.3 might be at the same power all the time, but 1470, every month when the time changes and it goes time to change, it goes off the air for a couple weeks. And then, but I don't know if 95.3 is at the same power 24 hours a day. I don't know.
Let's see. Someone commented on Facebook yesterday saying it was down, so I guess I can fix it.
Yeah. So the owner of the radio station, because of the Masked Lady's call, is going to the transmitter to check it out. Isn't that crazy? That's nice. Welcome, everyone.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you
You might not be sick. You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Railwood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. They will test for both environmental and food allergies. No appointment is necessary. And make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Big announcement from Elegant Youth. Now, remember, Elegant Youth is an expansion of any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs, who have been with us for many years. And Elegant Youth is right next door to any lab test now of Boca. They have a new weight loss program over there, semaglutide. Semaglutide. And listen, who out there has not tried to lose weight, look better, so you feel better about yourself? And come on. Have those diets helped you? You lose weight, you get it back, yo-yo diets. It's awful and it's torture. Well, the semaglutide treatment over at Elegant Youth burns fat, boosts your energy level, suppresses your appetite, balances blood sugar, and also promotes rapid weight loss. It's pretty cool, huh? Yeah. Give them a call, 561-717-8081. 561-717-8081. That's 561-717-8081. And elegantyouthboca.com online. elegantyouthboca.com online. Okay, so our Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, really dropped something pretty big about Adam Schiff in the aftermath of the Durham report. Listen to this. This is Kevin McCarthy yesterday. He's talking about Adam Schiff. Oh, hold on. I don't have it queued up. 1 second, guys. Sorry, I thought I had it queued up. Here we go. Well, I still don't have it queued up. Hold on. What is going on? Oh, I turned the wrong pot on, Mike, on the board.
You had a break-in at the Democratic headquarters, in this case, a virtual one, not a physical break-in. And you had a president as part of a cover-up. And here you have a president doing a different kind of cover-up. You have a president peddling these falsehoods, and you have essentially people putting out propaganda like Rudy Giuliani to further that fiction. It is, I think, of a size and scope probably beyond Watergate, just not the Watergate the president is referring to.
Or not. Okay. So that's Adam Schiff, and, you know, he was out there for years promoting the Russia hoax, and he even said that he had evidence, and there were whistleblowers, and he had seen the evidence, and all of this stuff, and he was out there, and now we know that he was 100% lying. And what he did with those lies were very terrible things, not just nationally, but internationally, you know. So Kevin McCarthy is asked about Adam Schiff in the aftermath of the Durham report, and what McCarthy said is amazing and exciting. Listen.
Well, a number of things. We're asking Durham to come in and testify so we can look at it more. It really raises the question about Adam Schiff. You remember when he told the American people he had proof? Remember when he told them he didn't know the whistleblower? And what he put America through and openly lied to us, and now it's proven in this as well? It raises a lot of questions about his character, his standing inside of Congress, or whether he should even be in Congress.
Wow. So Kevin McCarthy is talking about removing Adam Schiff from Congress, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is making some moves on that too. This is not something that's just happening lightly, okay? Adam Schiff very well could be removed from Congress, and I think I know what they're going to do. And I'm going to throw this out to you, and you let me know if this deal would be acceptable to you. Now, I don't know the whole process of removing a member of Congress from Congress. I don't know how much of a vote they need. I don't know exactly how that would operate. And I don't even know if the Republicans would have to make deals with the Democrats, but I think they would to make it an easier go. I am a big supporter of George Santos. Not all the weirdness that's come out about his background. I just don't care. George Santos votes the way that he's told to by Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, and Kevin McCarthy, and of course President Trump. So that's all I need him to do is vote yay and nay the right way, as he's told. Okay? I don't care about that other stuff. I really don't. But let me ask you this. Would you accept this deal? Would this deal be acceptable to you? In exchange for removing Adam Schiff from Congress, would you agree to remove Santos? And I think if we had to make a deal, we'd still have the majority, although we would lose one seat of that majority. And you know, we have a majority in the House. It's not as big as we would like, but we'd still have a safe majority. Would you agree to that? And I think that may be what they're doing. Yesterday, AOC had a run-in with George Santos on the Capitol steps. You know, they had a whole show out on the Capitol steps yesterday. You know, the members of Congress, there's a subway that goes from the Congressional parking lot to the Capitol building. But we've got a bunch of showboaters that like to go viral on the internet, so they go in where tourists are with all their phones, so people can film things and it can go viral on social media and everything. They don't use that subway too much. But AOC confronted George Santos on the Capitol steps yesterday to resign and all this stuff. Why don't you resign? All right, Che Guevara, AOC. But I think that might be part of a deal. Now, I wouldn't be happy with that deal. If we had a massive majority, I'd say no problem, it's fine. But whatever process takes place in New York, we'll probably get a Democrat to replace George Santos. It's unlikely we get a Republican after everything they've done to damage him. If Adam Schiff were removed, he represents Beverly Hills, they'd have another Democrat the next day in there, okay? So they would lose this very disgusting high-profile Democrat, but he'd be replaced by another Democrat. If we lose Santos, we lose a Republican and a slim majority House that'll probably be replaced by a Democrat. So they don't lose a seat, we would lose a seat. So I don't know if that would be a good trade, but it seems to me that that may be a trade that they might make, and I'm not too crazy about that. I'll throw that out to you guys. But keep in mind, it would involve getting rid of Adam Schiff, who's, I must tell you, there's been a lot of jerks and creeps in both houses of Congress over the years, right? Harry Reid. I mean, look at, people forget what Biden was like when he was younger and in the Senate and he had all those hair plugs. He was a nasty, sleazy guy. There's been a lot of them. But Adam Schiff, in my opinion, is the most disgusting, despicable person I've ever seen that's been a member of the United States Congress. He really has. I mean, he's just, first off, he's insane. You look at him in the face when he's talking. He's pathological. He's completely insane, and he just ticks me off. I don't like the guy at all. He's the sleaziest, scummiest person in the Congress today, without a doubt, and probably in the top 5 scummiest people in the history of the Congress, at least in the history of the time that most of us have been alive in this listening audience. So getting rid of him in Congress would be a major victory. It would be a big PR blow. But he wouldn't go anywhere. He would just end up working at CNN or MSNBC and spreading all of his propaganda there. But trading George Santos for Adam Schiff, I don't know if that's the exact why should we be doing any trading? We should just get rid of him. You know, what he did was cause so much trouble and undermine the President of the United States. I just don't understand how someone who lies that way when it's causing major national and international problems can be permitted to sit in the Congress of the United States. I just don't see how it's possible. Now, I just want to mention briefly, and then we'll break for the top, and I got a lot of new stories that I want to jump into, but I don't have enough time to start into something new that's important. And of course, you're welcome to call in about anything I brought up so far today at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Any of you know why Joe Biden's in Japan? It's a little vague to me. I've watched all the news stories, read a few stories about it this morning. Do you think it's more likely he's over there making a deal so that the big guy gets his 10%? And the media, because he's going to Hiroshima, right? Goes to Hiroshima. They're making a big deal that he's not going to apologize for Hiroshima, for dropping the bombs on Hiroshima. Why are they making a big deal about that? To me, it seems like the press, they're trying to resurrect Biden, like, oh, he's so pro-American, he won't apologize. Let me tell you, if they paid him enough money, he'd apologize for dropping the bombs. You know, that's so long ago. You know, do they still hold that against us? I don't know. I think Japan's better off today than they were. Basically, they were a military/theocracy and pretty third world. And then we dropped the bombs on them and we rebuilt the whole country, and now they're ripping us off, right? And they've been ripping us off for a long time in all kinds of ways. My guess would be he's over there making some deals because, remember, President Trump's equalized all the trade deals, including the ones with Japan, and he wants to unequalize them in exchange for his 10%. It's just another con job. You know, hey, listen, his family have some vices that are very expensive. Okay, so he has to cover the expenses of his vice-filled family. Now, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. When we get back, I'm going to jump into some new topics. There's so much going on, including the big shakeup at Fox News Channel, which is massive and great news and a great success. If, of course, you want to listen to this program on other ways, you can do that. Just say, Alexa, play True Oldies FLA. Hey, Google, play True Oldies FLA. There you go. Notice I don't adjust the volume anymore? Yeah, I know. People complained about that part. All right, we'll be right back.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the Oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Another scorcher for South Florida. We hit 92 yesterday in West Palm today, heading for about the same. Plenty of sunshine, and then we're going to unleash with some stronger storms later on this afternoon and evening. Under the UPVF 25 first warning, meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Earlier, police activity cleared up in West Palm Beach along I-95 heading northbound before Southern Boulevard. All delays have subsided on the approach. The New York expressways are moving up the speed between Boca Raton and Jupiter. The surface streets are also crash-free. In Hollywood, police activity is still closing North Park Road northbound from Hollywood Boulevard to Fillmore Street. Your best alternate right now is 46th Avenue. This report is sponsored by Summer Racing. Summer Racing is the parts and accessories to get your ride summer road trip ready. With millions of parts from the best brands in stock, you'll find exactly what you need to hit the highway or take the road less traveled. SummerRacing.com, everything you need for your drive. Let's travel. Chris Bowler.
Traffic is service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Check out the inaugural Moneymaker Tour in the Poker Room at PBKC now through May 24th, featuring over $1 million in guarantees, trophy events, and poker legend Chris Moneymaker. The $500,000 guarantee main event is set for this weekend, and this Saturday, watch, wager, and win on the exciting Preakness.
I'm reading just a terrible story about Zelenskyy and what this creep's doing. I'll get to it. I'll take some calls. If you're on hold, then I'll get to this. It's just disgusting. Welcome, everyone. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, there's over 1,200 in the live stream. Please like the video. Liking the video, guys, help spread the word about this channel. And, of course, I put the link to this great print, patrioticprintsusa.com. Our newest sponsor on the program hired this artist, this brilliant artist, Michael Israel, to paint this beautiful painting. And they're offering prints, and you in this audience have access to these first. This is the largest size, and they're very affordable, by the way. They make great Father's Day gifts. I have two of them, this one here at the radio station and one at home on the wall at home. Aren't they beautiful? And I put the website right there pinned at the top of the chat. Patriotic Prints, that's Prince with an S, patrioticprinceusa.com, and this is just beautiful. Let me put it close to the camera. Oh, let me show you guys. I mean, that's just, isn't that great artwork? It's just beautiful. And these are limited edition. They will go up in value. I know, they're beautiful. I know some of you have already ordered yours. They make a great Father's Day gift. Oh yeah, the painter Michael Israel is very, very well known. Oh, here's the commercial for it.
Comes from the paintbrush of Michael Israel. He's the world's finest live-action speed painter. It's available in multiple sizes. Mine is 16 by 20, and this is a must-have for every patriotic MAGA American. But that's not all. A portion of each sale goes directly to President Trump's re-election campaign. It makes a great gift, too. Visit patrioticprinceusa.com. That's patrioticprinceusa.com. And let's make America great again. patrioticprinceusa.com.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, hour number 2 has begun. Welcome back. Our number 1, 888-GO-KANE-1. We'll take a call or two, and then I just read a story during the break about something Zelenskyy is doing, which is really disgusting and should upset every American. But we'll get to that in a few minutes. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Pat/Roz.
Hey, Roz.
Hi. I just wanted to say I'm very sorry about your wife, and I am praying for you, her, and your daughter.
Thank you, thank you.
I hope that the surgery goes really good and that she's okay. I really like your wife. I think she's very smart, and I just find her amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And also, if you don't mind me giving a couple of comments on Adam Schiff.
Oh, yes.
I think that they should impeach him and prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing is, if they removed him from the House, he'd probably run for the Senate in California and win in Feinstein's seat. You know?
Because people see what these Democrats are doing to our country, and they're still voting for them.
I'm going to throw this out, you know, and I'll throw this out to you. I don't have an answer. Can someone tell me one good thing Democrats have done for the United States?
Nothing except destroy it.
Always. Their whole party, from their slavery days until today, they've done nothing but terrible things.
Right, and President Trump is, well, God first, and then President Trump will be the only one to bring our country back.
Oh, yeah. And he's the only one that can.
Is it true that I didn't watch the podcast, but I saw it where it says that DeSantis is like leading in single digits?
And they're among, you know, right now, all the polls you're seeing are among Republicans because it's all primaries. A new poll in New York among Republicans because they're going to have a Republican primary. And President Trump is at 60% and DeSantis is at 8%. Single-digit run.
President Trump will shred him to pieces. I can't wait to watch that debate.
Oh, yeah. I can't either.
President Trump.
Yeah, so do I.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, Roz.
I wanted to say that, and, well, you know my name's Pat. You always call.
I call you Roz because you sound like Roz from Monsters, Inc. a little bit. That's all. It's not an insult. It's just...
I have a deep voice. A lot of times when I call places, they're like, Mr., Mister. I'm like, no, I'm a lady. I just wanted to say that I'm really sorry, and I will continue to keep you and your whole family in prayer.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Take care, Roz. Yeah, you know, sometimes... You know, we give nicknames and things to callers that earn it because it gives them a little personality. Like Richie the bus driver was really a mediocre, boring call, and we started calling him Richie the bus driver, gave him a little personality. You know, that's kind of what we do. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to play a piece of audio here from a very terrible person, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Oh, my goodness. Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I'd forgotten about Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She's a member of Congress. She's a Democrat right here from South Florida, and she's a real beaut. I remember Hobby Lobby there's a Hobby Lobby on University Drive in Davie, on University Drive and 595. And for years, that was a Kmart plaza. The Kmart shut down, and that whole plaza was like basically an abandoned plaza for years. And Hobby Lobby moved in. And of course, Hobby Lobby opposed Obamacare. And that location is in her district. And hold on, Debbie. We'll get to you in a second. Hold on. Let me pause, Debbie, because I got a clip from her I want to play. And Debbie Wasserman Schultz did something I've never seen a member of Congress do. She went to a business that was about to open in her district and organized a movement for it not to open, a business that would create jobs in a dead plaza, Hobby Lobby. What kind of congressperson does that? A real liberal nutcase. That's who. So there's new laws that DeSantis has signed in and everything, making it more difficult to survive as an illegal in the state of Florida. And of course, as Republicans, we want to crack down on the illegals. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was on MSNBC yesterday, and she's so out of it in her liberal world, she doesn't even hear herself. Let me play this for you. If you're on hold, stand by, and then let me explain. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, MSNBC yesterday.
When Arizona did the same to their immigrants in their state, he's going to devastate our economy. Tourism, construction, agriculture. I mean, you're going to have vegetables rotting in the fields. You're going to have construction sites that will lie dormant, or certainly will struggle to get workers to be able to help make sure that they can make progress. The tourism and restaurant industry in particular, rely on these workers.
Okay. Now, this thing about it, yeah, okay. So Debbie Wasserman Schultz, we're not anti-immigrant. The First Lady Melania Trump is an immigrant, and we love her. She came to America with nothing but a dream and her good looks, and she made herself a multimillionaire before she met the president, right? All right. But anyway, Debbie Wasserman Schultz said, who's going to pick the fruits and vegetables in Florida if we clamp down on the border? Who's going to clean the hotel rooms? Who's going to do the menial labor on the construction sites? She doesn't even hear herself. What she's talking about is, this is how she views these people that are coming across the southern border as really a slave class. This is a slave class there is a great book that you all should read called Slavery by Another Name. It was written by a white author whose last name is Blackman. I can't remember his first name. I got this book years ago and I kept it because it's such a great book. And it talks about how the Democrats, after the slaves were freed, started the sharecropper industry and kept blacks in slavery through the 1960s in this country by forcing blacks in the county jails to work and the sharecropping industry. But anyway, what Debbie Wasserman Schultz is, it's called Slavery by Another Name. What she's talking about is we have a slave class coming from the southern border that do all these menial jobs, like picking cotton, working in the fields. She's got her field hands. She's got her house slaves that clean the hotel rooms and everything. She doesn't even hear her bigotry. And there will be a time in the future when people look back on this period and realize what I'm sharing with you now, that what's going on the southern border is a slave passage, much like the one from many years ago that the Democrats had in the antebellum era of the Deep South. They don't even hear themselves when they speak, these people. All right, but they're Democrats. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Lana.
Hey, Lana.
Hi, I'm from Broward.
Hey.
I hope that you don't take offense. I listen to you and I respect you. I just have been meaning to say this I've been thinking of this for a while. Whenever you say the word liberal, it really just gets to me because the root of liberal is the same root as liberty and freedom. And when you use that word to describe these fascists, it really bothers me. They're not liberal. They are totally not liberal.
Well, what would you feel more comfortable? I don't want you sound like a snowflake, getting all upset about a word, but what would you like me to use to describe them? What No, I said you sound like one because you're getting bothered by a word. What word would you rather me use to describe them?
Because I do respect the English language and the Latin.
What word would you like me to use to describe liberals?
Fascists, communists, socialists. They're not liberal.
Well, okay. Let me tell you. If I look up the definition and the root cause, I'll get a headache and my eyes will bleed. You know, this is. Oh my goodness. Oh my good. How long have you been divorced, by the way?
Oh my God! I've only been married once to the same person for over 30 years.
Oh my goodness, your poor husband. You talk to your husband this way? You got to let me finish a sentence, okay? You got to let me finish a sentence. All right? The reason I call them liberal is because that's how people view them. That's how people label them, so they know who I'm talking about. And also, Broward County is one of the last Democrat strongholds in America, all right? And they consider themselves liberal. We have a lot of listeners in Broward, and I want people to know who I'm talking about. If I use fascist and things all the time, a lot of Democrats, a lot of liberals won't know I'm talking about them, and a lot of people won't know exactly who I'm talking about.
Then just call them Democrats. They're not liberal. Sorry.
No, I'm going to call them whatever I want to call them. I mean, you shouldn't get so you shouldn't. When I say you sound like a snowflake, you're a little. I'm not saying you are a snowflake. You just sound like one because you're so triggered by a word.
Well, I like language. I write poetry.
Oh, really?
I just respect words.
Oh, share. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? Share a poem right now. Let's hear one of your poems.
No.
You say you write poetry. I want to hear a poem.
Yeah. All right. I'm not sharing one of my poems. All right. Thank you, Brian. I'm sorry I annoyed you. Sorry.
You didn't annoy me. I annoyed you. You didn't annoy me. Okay.
We annoyed each other.
No, you did not annoy me. You did not. I am not annoyed. You're annoyed. All right, take care. Yeah, I know. No, I'm not annoyed. She's annoyed. She wants to think I'm annoyed, but I'm not annoyed. If I'm annoyed, you'll know it. I'll tell you. Let's see here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
The one that conservative nerd.
Yes.
Oh man, that woman was annoying. Anyway, yeah, I call liberals because liberal seems to be takes everything that they are in one word. So liberal, yes, they are fascist, they are communist, that's the liberal word, I think, describes.
Yeah, but we have to, I mean, I know some people say liberal you know, you have to use language that people understand who you're talking about. If we get into the root causes, the root words of other words and what they mean and the Latin and the German root and all this stuff, I mean, come on, we put the audience to sleep. It'd be like the Kaufman show.
Well, anyway, the other thing you were just mentioning that we're going to get rid of Adam Schiff, hopefully, and then you mentioned Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She should be on the list, too. Why are we getting rid of Santos when she cheated on the election?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm glad that that Debbie Wasserman Schultz came out yesterday because I'd forgotten about Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and she's one of our local Democrats. I mean, I've not thought about her in years. I don't know why. She did something to tick off the powers that be in the Democrat Party, and she's been sidelined. When Obama was president, she was the head of the DNC. She was a big deal, and then something happened, and she's been demoted. I know she's got a senior position and all that stuff, but I haven't heard of her in years. All right, hey, take care, Doug. I gotta take our break. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey,
it's Scott Shannon here with a question. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you get a doorbell camera. I wish we had them for everyone, but the first 40 true oldies channel listeners to call 833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hand. And that's not all. Sloman's going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector.
Which one was it? What did he say?
He said I want to make my buddy Kamala, who I work for.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Channel listeners to dial 833-283-5050. You'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain, but the biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the prices are painless too. Call today, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. BrightonDentalCare.com.
Sometimes a family needs a little help to deal with life stresses. You can contribute to happy, healthy childhoods with a few simple steps. Notice families under stress. Offer a helping hand. Give your time. Talk about healthy child development. Connect a family with resources. Contributing to a great childhood can be as easy as being a good neighbor. For more, preventchildabusefl.org. This message is sponsored by the Alza Prevention Fund of Florida, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry for 40 years. We are originally from Connecticut, where our values and work ethic is second to none. We install all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingle, clay and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. We work with homeowners, HOAs, commercial properties, and churches. We are state of Florida licensed roofing and general contractors. At Laporta Contracting, family is what we are, and roofing and restoration is what we do. We help guide our customers to a successful outcome by constantly informing them every step of the way. At Laporta Contracting, let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or visit us on our website at laportacontracting.com. That number again is 954-604-4602.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. Okay, now the Rocky Mountaineer train traveling through the beautiful Canadian Rockies. This incredible trip in August is almost completely full. There's only a handful of spots left. So go to briantrain.com right now and request a brochure and get all the information, including the different pricing options and everything. briantrain.com. There's also a great video of this train trip that will just blow your mind. I mean, it looks like it was made by Bruckheimer or something. It's because it's so beautiful. And it's the perfect time of year because in August it's so hot and humid here in Florida. And in Canada in August, it's the perfect temperature. So go to briantrain.com and request a brochure. When you go to briantrain.com, just click that request a brochure button, which is on the left side of the screen, okay? briantrain.com, and it's almost sold out. So when it's sold out, that's it. And you'll have a beautiful trip with some great MAGA people that you will very much enjoy. briantrain.com and request a brochure. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, Vince America. How's it going?
All right, Wellington, what's up?
Yeah, the train sounds good too, but is it going to be like a MAGA train? Or is that...
Well, I don't know if it's a MAGA train, but there'll be a lot of MAGA people there. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I was really...
The train is the Rocky Mountaineer.
Yeah, right. I was calling in about the Adam Schiff whole debacle, and I agree that he should be removed, but I doubt that he would. You know what I mean? But
I don't know. I don't know about. Excuse me. I don't know about that. Kevin McCarthy's talking about it, and they're introducing articles in Congress. I'm not sure if it was Marjorie Taylor Greene or another member. I've forgotten about removing him. No, there's some action being taken. Now, listen. Feinstein's about to retire from the Senate, so he very well could get that Senate seat.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Which would be worse. For him to be a senator would be worse.
Yeah, I was just saying that, the way that this is all unfolding, it kind of looks like it might be a tough set for them later, which is my hopes of what to, see, but, in the end terms of what we're facing, it's not, it's not anything that we haven't already seen, that they've gotten blown out and thrown out in front of people and nothing happened.
Mm-hmm. No, a lot is happening. This Durham report, I was talking earlier, okay, President Trump, in his new ad, he talks about it, but he's been talking on the campaign trail. In his second term, he's going to fire all these people in the deep state. That Durham report is going to allow him to do that.
For sure. Did you end up seeing Laura Loomer with Brad Raffensperger's lawyer? She confronted him.
Laura Loomer confronted who?
Huh?
Who did Loomer confront?
Brad Raffensperger from Georgia.
Oh, really? She's in Georgia doing? Okay, yeah, no, I did. I'll look that up. I'm sure it's on her Twitter. I'll look it up during the break.
Great. So, I mean, it is amazing. So, it's his lawyer, really.
Well, she really needs to focus more on DeSantis, and she has. A lot of this stuff about DeSantis, Laura Loomer has uncovered, and she has some sources in Tallahassee too, and she has uncovered quite a bit of information, including the fact that DeSantis doesn't own a car. That came from Laura Loomer.
Yeah, I appreciate you turning me on to her because she is very, very in tune. And she is definitely a master class of putting these people out on Front Street.
Oh, yeah, and she's fearless, man. I mean, I get scared. When I'm out in public, I saw Loomer when she was up there. She organized the event to support the president when he flew to New York for that Bragg Soros thing. And I saw her there, and I didn't take any pictures or anything with her because I saw some people following her around with cameras. And I didn't know who they were, but I knew they weren't with her. And they were some real shady people. And I don't know. I was trying to figure out who these people were. Nobody seemed to know. I didn't want to be on their website or whatever they were doing. It was not good. And it was very strange. Two guys, and they're following around a woman.
She never ended up winning her Congress seat, right?
Unfortunately, no. But I think she's got a good chance. She has moved to the Villages, and here in Florida, which is a senior community. She may be the youngest resident of the Villages. And the Republican congressman in the Villages, I understand, is as old as the hills, like he's Dianne Feinstein-like. So I think she's preparing a run for that seat when they retire.
Right, for sure. And I think she would be great for the Villages.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, listen, thanks for the call.
No problem.
All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Sounds like you.
Love your show, Brian. This is Margate Marie. I'd like to ask your opinion in light of what happened to Tucker. I'm not watching Fox News anymore, but is it okay to watch Fox Business?
No.
Thank you very much.
No. Well, I'm not the decider. I mean, I think that we should make them all pay.
Okay, well, I've got a Fox-free room here where I live. I don't turn it on at all, but the person I live with, he says that you said it's okay to watch Fox Business.
No, the person you live with, are you living in Sen? What's the deal?
I live with my brother.
Oh, you live with your brother? Okay, that's okay. All right. That's good. Live with your brother. All right, take care. All right, thanks for the call.
All right.
All right, take care. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
Think you're gonna really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Another scorcher for South Florida. We hit 92 yesterday in West Palm today. Heading for about
Yeah.
plenty of sunshine, and then we're going to unleash with some stronger storms later on this afternoon and evening. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Palm Beach Expressway still crash free this morning, but we do have an incident now in West Palm Beach along Haverhill Road, just north of Roebuck Road. One of the place at Woolbury.
Oh, man. I'm going to get into this Ukraine story when we get back. Zelenskyy is a bad, bad man. When is he up for re-election in Ukraine? I'll recap the Laura Ingraham stuff when we get back for people that are just tuning in.
Traffic is service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Check out the inaugural Moneymaker Tour and the Poker Room at PBKC now through May 24th, featuring over $1 million in guarantees, trophy events, and poker legend Chris Moneymaker. The $500,000 guaranteed main event is set for this weekend, and this Saturday, watch, wager, and win on the exciting Preakness Stakes at PBKC. Go to pbkennelclub.com for more information.
Brian Craig here. Are you looking for a reliable scooter sales and repair shop? Look no further than Anything Scooters. When my scooter broke down, Anything Scooters took care of everything for me. It had me back out on the road in no time. At a great price, too. They have a huge inventory of scooters for sale, both new and used. They offer finance.
If the weather's nice and I'm done with my show prep early enough, I might ride the Maga Scooter 2.0 to the radio station tomorrow. It's Friday, right? Yeah.
If you're looking to upgrade your scooter's performance, they've got you covered. Their expert technicians can handle anything from simple oil changes to engine rebuilds, even high-performance modifications. At Anything Scooters, they use only top-quality oils and replacement parts to ensure that your scooter runs like it should. They're very friendly and they have great customer service. Visit anythingscooters.com or give them a call directly. 954-226-8710.
Who ain't real?
954-226-8710. 954-226-8710. Online, anythingscooters.com.
Hey, it's Vic from the TOC, and I'm living proof that the One Life Health and Performance customized weight loss plan works.
Welcome, everyone. This is our bottom of the hour break. We'll be back shortly.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez.
Can't stand News Channel Eyes. I'm going to do a quick recap on what's going on at Fox, and then I'll get into this new story with Ukraine.
Hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back, and women, hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone, night sweats gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet him, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet him again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care
Years on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Just let me recap what is happening at Fox News Channel. Then I'll get into just a disgusting story about what Zelenskyy is doing in Ukraine that every American, I think, should be outraged about. But liberals and these, Zelenskyy fanboys that we have in this country, they'll probably think that's a good thing. But I'll get to that in a minute. Matt Drudge did something he's not done in about a decade, maybe 15 years. He actually broke news. And I don't think I'm exaggerating. If someone can think of a time when Drudge has broken news that I'm forgetting in the last 10 to 15 years, please let me know. And I hope that this means the Drudge Report's back. Because I did check the Drudge Report this morning, which is the first morning I've checked the Drudge Report in a long time. But anyway, Drudge broke a story yesterday that there was a major lineup change coming to Fox News Channel. And here's what it was. Moving Hannity to 8, moving Jesse Waters to 9 p.m., and moving Greg Gutfeld to 10 p.m. And Laura Ingraham was left off this. No place in the new lineup. And Fox News issued a statement, and they didn't really deny it. They said there's several options being discussed. So it looks like Laura Ingram's on her way out, and they're making some very desperate moves over there at Fox News Channel. That's pretty big stuff, and it means that the MAGA boycott of the Fox News Channel has worked, and this is a very desperate move, what they're doing. It's a pathetic move at that. Pathetic, desperate, and also stupid. Now that this leaked out, I have contacts here and there, as does Steve. And yesterday afternoon, after this story went everywhere, it was on Drudge, trending politics, media, everywhere. I got a text message from a well-known Fox News personality, not a pundit. I'll tell you who it wasn't. It was not Hannity. It was not Jesse Waters or Gutfeld. But I got a text message from a Fox News contact of mine who has a show. And they're on the air 5 days a week at Fox News Channel. And they're obviously in a panic. They're texting me in the afternoon on my cell phone. Usually I get an email or something, but I actually got a text message on my cell phone. So I'm not going to tell you who it is because I don't want to burn my contacts. But they're worried about their job. So yeah, I'm not going to tell you the gender and I'm not going to tell you the show, but it is a person who is a household name. And they're on Fox News 5 days a week, and it's not a pundit. They have a show. I'm not going to get any more specific than that. So there's a lot of panic going on, which tells me, I probably shouldn't even tell you I got the text, okay? Because everyone's going to be bugging me as to who it is. And I only told a few people about this, and I wasn't going to go public with it, but I am. But their text to me is a confirmation of the story. Now, Fox News, because this got found out, the changes they're making may be a little different than what came out on Drudge because, they don't want to, I don't know, they may not want to do it exactly as Drudge reported it, I don't know. But the person contacting me from Fox yesterday is a confirmation of the story. And they're worried about other changes. So the MAGA boycott has worked. I said when they fired Tucker Carlson, I said it every day that week. This is the beginning of Fox News. When they fired Tucker, this is the beginning of cable news, not just Fox, all cable news making themselves irrelevant. There also was a big announcement yesterday of the lineup change was made official at CNN. Caitlin Collins at 9. And they're putting Charles Barkley and Gayle King on at night on CNN. So there's a big lineup change going on at CNN too, but the bigger one at Fox is most significant. So if you're just tuning in, that's a pretty big update. And if they think that's going to get us back to Fox News, they're kidding themselves. So anyway, your thoughts on that certainly are welcome at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Is there anything they could do to get you back to Fox News Channel? The only thing I could think of, give the 8 o'clock slot to Don Jr., who does a great show if you watch Don Jr.'s show, and put Kim Guilfoyle back on the 5. That would get, I would want, would you go back to Fox if they gave Don Jr. the 8 o'clock show and put Kim Guilfoyle back on the 5? And they got to give Lara Trump a role too, since they let her go. I think that might get people back. And that would be a transformation to going full MAGA. And I think so. Yeah, absolutely. It would get people back. I know a lot of people say I still wouldn't watch. Yeah, you would, and I would too. That would be beautiful. Could you imagine Kim Guilfoyle returning to the 5, where she should be? Oh my goodness, that'd be amazing. All right, so let me share this story, and this is really a disgusting story of Zelenskyy and Ukraine. The head of Ukraine's military intelligence service, Major General something I cannot pronounce because it's Ukrainian, has said that several Kremlin propagandists have been assassinated by Ukraine since the start of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Now, I'll go through more of this story, but they have assassinated several Kremlin propagandists. To me, that sounds like civilians who voice an opinion that Zelenskyy doesn't like. The head of their intelligence service said Ukraine wanted to establish a demilitarized border zone up to 60 miles inside Russia. When asked whether Ukrainian security services had killed Russian propagandists, he said, "We've successfully targeted quite a few people." Wow. Several prominent pro-war figures have been killed or wounded by explosives in Russia since the start of the invasion. One guy who they say is a pro-Kremlin, maybe it's the same thing, pro-Kremlin ideologist, was left with multiple injuries after a car bomb attack. The daughter of a Putin ally was killed by a car bomb. So Zelenskyy is killing civilians who voice an opinion that he doesn't like. And by the way, these assassinations that they're owning up to were done inside Russian territory. Now, this is just me. I don't think that we should be supporting a government that's committing terrorist acts, killing civilians. If these were targets that were military targets, if they were planting car bombs on generals and things like that, okay, that's one thing. But what Zelenskyy is doing is really, that's terrorism, isn't it? When you're setting car bombs and you're killing civilians because you don't like their opinions, it doesn't get more un-American than that, but isn't that terrorism? So is Zelenskyy a terrorist by doing this? Are we supporting a terrorist? Is the big guy getting 10% of the money he's sending to a terrorist? That's bad news, and I don't support that. And, this Putin propagandist and Kremlin propagandist label they put on anyone they don't like. I've been called that by liberals. And I know you've heard a lot of other people. They've called Tucker Carlson a Putin apologist and propagandist, right? If you do not support U.S. involvement in Ukraine, those who do in this country call you a Putin puppet, a Kremlin or Putin propagandist. And what Zelenskyy has done is against the very basic things of American society, right? He's blowing up people. He's killing people because he doesn't like them exercising their free speech. He has outlawed opposition political parties. Can you imagine? He's outlawed opposition political parties. He outlawed the Ukrainian Russian Orthodox Church. And Ukraine was part of Russia for a long time, so, there's a lot of Ukrainians who are members of the Russian Orthodox Church. He's outlawed that. So freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of political expression and opposition. He's killing people and outlawing it. And he's supposed to be the example of freedom. I'm not saying Putin's a good guy. They're both bad guys. But this is when he is blowing up and killing civilians because they're voicing opinions he doesn't agree with. That's when you become a terrorist. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian.
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, my name's Brian. I'm from Boca. You know, people can't tell when you're answering because I'm listening to you on my phone, and then you're saying it like I'm here on the radio station. You don't know who you're answering. Anyway, I'm listening to. I usually get you on 95.3. And it don't work. It don't work in my.
There's some technical problems, and station management, I've been told, if they're not there already, are on their way to the transmitter site. But you can listen to us on other ways.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to.
But I know. Listen, whenever you guys in the audience have a problem, it's okay to let us know. It's okay to let us know. Don't feel like it's a bad thing. Just the fact that you care enough. Right? Is that's nice. No. That's a good thing that you let us know.
Thank you, and thank you for all you do, Brian. You're the best, man. You guys are great. You and Steve, I can't get through my morning without you guys.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Brian in Boca. All right. Take care. Maybe we'll get together. We'll have two Brians in Boca. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
So, I believe Zelenskyy has now suspended voting under martial law.
Really? I was wondering, when is he up for re-election? How long is the presidential term over there?
That I don't know, but he has
Well, he outlawed the opposition political parties, so now they got one-party rule. He outlawed the church.
He's taken over the media.
Mm-hmm.
Suspended voting because they're under quote-unquote martial law. So he's...
Wow. Yeah, hey, listen, he knows what's best. He knows what's best.
He sure does. He sure does.
At that point, you're a dictator.
Yeah, I would say.
This is the thing about evil people. Evil people and dictators. They don't think they're evil. They don't say, I'm an evil They think, this is the liberal mindset. They know what's best for the common good. Right?
That's because liberals are evil people.
I mean, did Hitler and Mussolini think they were villains? No, they thought they knew what was best. Same thing with the Soviet Union. What do you need all these other political parties for? We know what's best. They're trying to do this. The Democrats are trying to outlaw the MAGA movement.
Well, Americans tolerate it. So, that can only go so far. But in regard to George Santos, this is what I think Kevin McCarthy should do. I think if the Democrats try to remove George Santos, Kevin McCarthy should just say, I'm shutting down the government. If you try to remove him, I'm going to shut it down.
Well, he's talking about removing Adam Schiff. Would you accept a trade? We remove Adam Schiff in exchange for tossing out George Santos. Would you accept that?
Anna Paulina Luna filed the paperwork to remove Adam Schiff.
That's correct. That was her. That's right. Well, I would not be happy with that. We're in the majority. Why do we need to be making deals?
We don't need to be making deals with anybody because we have the money. We have the money. They should be wielding that money like a sword.
The House is really the most powerful part of our government because they control the spending from the Treasury. So with that, it comes power. The big guy's got to get it. The big guy wants his 10% so bad.
Well, here's, speaking of the big guy, what's he going to Japan for? Why is he going to Japan?
Make money for himself.
But what about the debt ceiling, right? Isn't that the big house on fire?
How about cutting off Ukraine? How about stop giving money to Ukraine? That would probably cover the debt ceiling. How about that?
How about that?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
How about change the big guy's cut to 5%? Maybe that would settle it.
The Republicans should not give an inch. Not one. They should not give a penny. They should 100% be holding the Democrats ransom.
That's right.
100%.
That's right.
I will say something on. John Jr. was on Tim Pool last night.
I heard about that. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, Brian, it was fantastic.
Did Tim Pool tell Don Jr. that he said that DeSantis would beat his father in a debate? Did he tell him that?
No.
He left that out.
It's just like, I'm not going back to Fox.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going on Fox
Good.
anymore. But it was good. It was good. It was a good interview.
No, I'm going to watch it today. I woke up this morning to several text messages to tell me to watch that interview, so I'll watch it.
It was good. I liked it. I liked it a lot, and I'm not like a really big fan of Pool, but I thought it was really, really, really good.
You know he's bald under that winter cap, right? He is. He wears that because he's bald.
What difference does that make, though?
This whole trend of these millennials wearing winter caps all the time, like Michael Nesmith from the Monkees, is just ridiculous.
Well, Brian, I'll just let you know, my oldest brother, has worn a winter hat since I can remember, and I'm 56. I've never seen him without it.
Oh, does he have hair on his head?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Wow.
They're like hippies. So he's got like that Paul McCartney under, he's got like the Beatles haircut.
I've been lucky that I haven't lost my hair. All of my friends are all like bald that are my age, and I have all my hair, so I'm very happy about that. There's a video of Tim Pool online where somebody came up behind him and pulled his cap off, and you could see his bald head, and he like freaked out.
Vanity. Vanity is the sin.
I wouldn't like it if I were bald. I wouldn't like it either. I might wear a hat more often if I were bald. Sure. See, when I was in high school, someone, and this is probably not even true, but someone, a lot of guys when you're young, you wear baseball caps all the time. Someone told me that if you wear a hat all the time, it'll cause you to lose your hair when you get older. So I stopped wearing hats. And out of all of my friends from that time, from high school and everything, I'm one of the few that still have all their hair.
That I don't know. Maybe, though. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That might be legitimate. But
yeah.
my message to Americans is toughen up. Republicans better start playing hardball.
Yep, that's right. All right, Andrea, take care. I appreciate the call. Now, I want to tell everyone about my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, who's absolutely amazing. He's rid me of pain from my knee injury. He's rid me for pain from my arthritis. He rid me of my shoulder pain, and he'll rid you of your pain too. If you're in pain, stop suffering. Back pain, herniated disc, post-surgical swelling, neck pain, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia. The list, it goes on and on. Rotary tears. If you're in pain, call Dr. Appleton. All right? It's a free consultation. If you mention you heard him on the radio, appointments are not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome 6 days a week. He's also open on Saturdays. His number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. It works. And his laser-away pain treatment, there are no injections, no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonChiro.com. All right, it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Hey, Barry.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
Good. What do you have for us today, Barry?
Well, the cost of long-term care is incredibly high, and people are living healthier lives, living longer lives, and the chances of someone or their spouse needing long-term care is very high, and therefore they'd have to deal with those high expenses. And if we don't have long-term care insurance and we don't have enough long-term care insurance, we do have it, then we've got an issue. And so the one way to avoid spending down our assets and potentially going broke or leaving our spouse broke is to qualify for government benefits. And one of the biggest mistakes people can make is not proactively exploring the possibility to see if they could become eligible for these benefits, either now, if they need care now or about to need care, or in the future. And some of the planning that needs to be done ahead of time. Some people may need some things done now to make sure they can qualify in the future and not end up spending down their assets and potentially going broke. And that's what we do at the Siegel Law.
Yeah, and what do those expenses cost? Home care, nursing home care? What's that averaging in Florida these days, a month?
Well, I mean, nursing homes, what we're seeing now is anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 a month.
Oh my goodness!
And we're seeing assisted living, depending on the level of care, being anywhere from about $4,000 to $8,000 a month. And home care, it's typically by the hour. But for example, somebody receiving maybe 40 hours a week, we're not talking 24 hours a day. We're just talking about 40 hours a week. It could cost $4,000 or $5,000 a month.
Oh my goodness!
A very expensive cost of care that could drastically drain people's resources.
Wow, it's and fast. I mean, how many months could you pay that until you were broke and went through whatever you got from your house or that you sold? Or it doesn't have to be that way. It's always a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group. When you mentioned you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, his number 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel will finish out the week tomorrow. All right, take care. All right, let's go back to our phones. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Hey, what's up? Hey, Jeff.
Hey, so I have two quick ones. First, do you remember that you were talking about the DeSantis and Trump? That would be a great debate. It would be great, but I can mirror what's going to happen. You remember the Mitt Romney and Obama? How the establishment hit him, and he turned everything around because he was kicking butt at the first part when he was debating Obama. But he cowered from the establishment, the Republican establishment, and MAGA would not. It would sit exactly the same way, I believe, with DeSantis. He's going to back down, knowing that he has.
Well, okay. Where are you calling from, by the way?
Jeff from the Ranches.
The Ranches. Okay, so you may have seen. I watched. And I was a big fan of Ron DeSantis until he said it was okay for Bragg to kidnap President Trump on that Soros thing. And, I've seen Ron DeSantis in both of his debates against Andrew Gillum and Charlie Crist. He lost both of them. And they were really embarrassing. And, in fact, when I saw the Andrew Gillum debate, I was a little nervous. It was so bad. I talked about it at the time. And the same thing, and Charlie Crist is a weirdo. And he lost to that one. And those guys are not really great debaters. They're mediocre. You go up against the greatest of all time, President Trump, it's going to be worse than Caitlin Collins. It'll be worse than Caitlin Collins.
It will be, and I agree 100%. I have another quick one. I know it's not Friday, but is there something locally that somebody that's a MAGA can do to help with the fraud that happened?
Well, I'll tell you what you can do. I can tell you what you can do, okay? And my mother-in-law does this. You can volunteer as a poll worker, and okay, that's the best thing you can do. Hey, listen, take care. Thanks for the call. Poll workers are very important, and they're a little light on Republican poll workers. That's something that Democrats typically do. So the best thing you can do is become a poll worker, and it's a great thing to do. And that comes into play. I've had nasty exchanges with. I had one years ago when my daughter was young. This was in Boca. I used to always take my daughter with me to vote, and she was like in elementary school still, and I took her to vote, and I took her into the, up to not just inside the polling location, but I took her with me to the booth when I'm voting, and the poll worker came up and said she had to wait outside. She was like 6, 7 years old. I said, she's a child. She's not going to wait outside. She said she's interfering with the voter. She can't be at the thing with you while you're voting. I said, she's my daughter. He said, she's interfering with the. I said, you're interfering with the voter. I said, she's a child. She's not going to go wait outside alone. I'm her father. Okay. So then when I go and hand in my ballot, the poll worker gave me the I voted today sticker, and then he gave another one to my daughter, right? And that poll worker that gave me a hard time, wanted my child to wait outside alone while I voted, said, she didn't vote. She doesn't get a sticker. And I said, you're the Democrat poll watcher, aren't you? And he said, yes. I said, oh, go figure. So I gave her my sticker. So, these Democrat poll watchers are nasty. So, I know. So if you're a conservative, being a poll worker is a great thing to do. Now, I want to tell everyone about, of course, patrioticprinceusa.com. That's Prince with an S. patrioticprinceusa.com. They commissioned this incredible artist, Michael Israel, to paint this beautiful painting of our great president, and they're offering a limited edition print, which is very affordable, by the way. I have two of them, one here at the radio station, one at home hanging on my wall. These are very affordable. They make great Father's Day gifts. And if you want to take a look at the print, when you go to patrioticprinceusa.com, you can, of course, see it there. It's absolutely amazing. This is a great, great MAGA company located right here in Florida. So go to patrioticprinceusa.com, that's Prince with an S, and order yours, okay? And remember, a portion of each print sold is donated to President Trump's official 2024 re-election campaign. All right, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be back right after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Another scorcher for South Florida. We hit 92 yesterday in West Palm. Today, heading for about the same. Plenty of sunshine, and then we're going to unleash with some stronger storms later on this afternoon and evening. I'm WPVF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County.
Oh, that's okay. It happens.
I saw him call back, then he hung up, so I called him back.
Yeah, that's fine.
Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Palm Beach Expressway still crash-free this morning, but we do have an incident now in West Palm Beach along Haverhill Road, just north of Roebuck Road, Wellington Trace at Mulberry Place. We also have a crash there. 95 southbound before Sheridan Street, a multi-vehicle crash not cleared. A disabled vehicle blocks the right lane on 95 heading northbound Marina Mile. This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Hey shoppers, this is local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season right now. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com from the Florida Department of Agriculture. Let's draft.
By the way, I pinned the link in the chat to patrioticprinceusa.com to get your print. I know some of you already ordered them. It's a great print.
Featuring over $1 million in guarantees, trophy events, and poker legend Chris Moneymaker. The $500,000 guarantee main event is set for this weekend and this Saturday. Watch, wager, and win on the exciting Preakness Stakes at PBKC. Go to pbkennelclub.com for more information.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News Update.
Joshua asked me the name of Dr. Charles Stanley. The one that I'm talking about, I don't recall the name. I'll show it on a live stream this weekend. This Charles Stanley Bible is like the best Bible. And one of the things I like about it is not just the study notes from Charles Stanley, is the font is so pleasant on the eyes. It's like the easiest reading I've ever done in my life of a printed page.
Used to terminate pregnancies in private. No
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh, boy, lots going on today. Lots going on today, actually. The phone's very busy as well. You can't hear me? What else is there to hear? Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. If you can hear me, we're good to go. And well, hopefully you can hear the callers. We'll find out in a moment. But our number is 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, you're on the air.
I'm normally a listener, not a call. Yeah, hey, Ivy. I'm normally, I prefer to listen to the call-in, but boy, that Debbie Watson show really gets under my skin. But first, Zelenskyy. Before the war broke out, if I would have said what I thought about Zelenskyy, you guys would think of that. Now it's all out in the open, right? The fact that this guy gets billions and billions of dollars from us and he can't wear a suit in the White House or in Congress really, really bothers me. He shows that he's a tyrant when he got rid of the Orthodox Church. That should have been the first red flag. And when he banned all the news outlets, when he did that, then you Democrats should have woken up at that time and not allow our money to.
I forgot about that one. So Zelenskyy, the latest story with Zelenskyy is they've assassinated many civilians. They call them Russian propagandists, people that have an opinion different than his. They've murdered them with car bombs, Zelenskyy. He's banned the press from reporting negative stories he doesn't like. He banned the opposition political party, which, by the way, you know, in the American Civil War, the Democrats ran a candidate against Lincoln in Lincoln's re-election. It was it Meade? I can't remember who they ran. But the Democrats ran an opposite. Lincoln didn't outlaw the Democrat Party even during the Civil War. He outlawed the Russian Orthodox Church in Ukraine. There's no freedom of religion, press, or speech in Ukraine. None under Zelenskyy.
So I want your audience to really understand like the pattern of Castro. So you see it in your face and yet you deny your eyes. We have to turn this around. You Democrats and us Republicans, and take our country back from these. And the money is outrageous. What's going on in our country? People coming across our border and putting there. But anyway, Watchman Schultz is what I call. Forgive me, Brian. I used to listen to Cephalo back in the day, and I realized it's because I wasn't at my peak in my politics thoughts. And when he used to have Watchman Schultz on regularly and Sheriff Israel on regularly, I didn't notice the lies right away. But let's not forget how she lied at that gay pride parade in Wilton Manors, that she thought her life was being threatened by the guy who accidentally had.
Slow down. Let's slow down on that. Okay, I'd forgotten about that. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is in the news for the first time in a long time, and it's obviously triggered some trauma in our caller here. But I understand. A few years back, a pickup truck ran over people at a gay pride parade. Was it in Wilton? It had to be in Wilton Manors. It was a gay pride parade, and it was called a hate crime by people, including Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and she said her life was, and apparently it was a gay man from the parade, and I can't remember if there was a problem with the
leader. He was gonna be in the front of the parade leading. And what happened? Either had a health issue or his foot got jammed on the gas throttle, and then the vehicle got out of control. But my point was, like Shifty Schiff, he's the reason why I called in as well. They, like Rahm Emanuel, never let a good crisis go to waste. They immediately, and the gay mayor, immediately jumped on the story to use it against us, the people, Democrats and Republicans. And this is what I want you to understand, that's what they do. We can't listen to these people anymore. And that mop on our head infuriates me, okay? And I didn't understand why Cephalo had them on and on again, and there was no Republicans. So then my mind got more open, and questions started floating in, like the Riddler and Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't listen to Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She's like an AOC, but just like an older one in retirement, sitting there waiting to be called on. We can't listen to these people.
Yeah, I would agree. An old AOC is a good descriptor for Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Absolutely. Absolutely.
let's not forget about the nut job in Hawaii, that Kahuna lady, whatever. I think Andrew had mentioned a name. It could have been her, the lady from Hawaii. Oh my God, these are lunatic psychos.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. Good to hear from you. You should call more often. You're good. Yeah, Debbie Wasserman Schultz comes out for one interview, and people are like totally triggered. I get it. I get it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Augustino.
Hey, Augustino.
Hey, I love your shirt with the peaches on it. Looks
These are Florida oranges. I'm wearing a Florida orange shirt.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. They look great on you.
Thank you.
YouTube. By the way, I wanted to mention to you that guess what? I had an aide here. Remember a long time ago that wouldn't help me or anything?
Yes.
You were on the air. Well, guess what? My physical therapist talked to my caseworker, and guess what? My physical therapist, he's a Republican. He loves your show, and he loves you. He loves Steve Kane, and we got that lady fired.
Well, you had a liberal home health care worker. And well, this is the dangers of Obamacare and socialized medicine. She has a job to take care of you because you've got health issues, but because you're MAGA, she doesn't believe you should receive health care, and she just lets you sit there and suffer. I mean, that's how Democrats are. You're in one of those death panels.
That's what my physical therapist talked to my caseworker about, and they were going with a totally different company that doesn't because like my physical therapist said, she was a Democrat. Democrats
are evil people and think Republicans should all be dead. They just don't like us. And hey, Augustine, good to hear from you. Speaking of home health care workers, remember that weirdo listener, Ron, Steve, that had a job as a home health care? Okay. I don't know. I haven't heard from Ron in a long time, and I'm reluctant to say his name because if he's still alive, we may hear from him. But we used to have this... Oh, yes. We used to have this listener. His name was Ron, and he was a weirdo, okay? If he's still alive, I'm sure he still is a weirdo. And he he got a job as a home health care aide. And we got a call. He used Steve and me as a reference. And they called me, and I said, listen, he calls us on the radio. I don't know this guy. I don't know why he's using me and Steve Kane as a reference, but he's weird. And they hired him anyway. And then they had to let him go, and then they called us back. He was a home health care aide, and he had to bathe the guy he was taking care of. And he put this guy in the shower, and he put on a raincoat like the Gordon's fisherman with the rain hat and everything, and was wearing a raincoat and a rain hat while he was bathing his patient. It was so bizarre, that guy.
Ron, I'd love to. We never did get the real story on him.
I don't want to know the real story on Ron. One of our, I don't want to say which one, but one of our sponsors was visiting, they were in Philadelphia, and they had mentioned that they were traveling to Philly. They get out of the elevator in their hotel, and he was there. Remember that? He followed them to Philadelphia. I mean, my goodness. I don't know. I shouldn't even mention his name because...
First name.
But he knows who I'm talking about. If he's still around, he'll be in our hair again. Oh, my goodness.
If he was around, we would have heard.
Yeah. He's probably not with us. Yeah. The idea of him bathing a man wearing that Gordon Fisherman's outfit, that's just bizarre, with the hat and everything. I wonder if he made the fish sticks when he was... All right, guys, listen, we're going to take our break. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve is here. My name's Brian. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you about how my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, has rid me of pain from a knee injury and arthritis pain with his laser away pain treatment. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our callers who called me live on the radio to tell me how chiropractic physician Dr. Philip Appleton helped him with his laser away pain treatment.
You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Sean. I'm calling from Boca Raton. I want to thank you guys once again. I've listened to this show since the mid-'80s. Thank you for introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian and Steve. I went in there last week. I had a knee problem. At one session, I feel so much better. I brought my mother there yesterday. She has a problem with her right side or her arm. She's right-handed. She feels better. It's amazing. And for people out there that are dealing with pain, believe me, there is an alternative. Go in there for the free consultation. FRE free. You will lose. The only thing you'll lose is the pain that you're dealing with. Do not suffer. Go in to see Dr. Appleton, the greatest visit of your life.
Give Dr. Appleton a call right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary. And walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710. Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? Would that make life easier for you? You can with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will help you set up doctor's appointments, help with your pharmacy, even deal with your pharmacist to make sure that you have your prescriptions. They'll help you find a doctor, including a specialist. If you've been billed improperly by a doctor's office or a hospital, they can help you with that too. They'll even be your advocate when you're in the hospital to make sure you get the care you need and the care you deserve. And that's just the beginning of what they do. I Will Advocates takes care of all Steve Kane's healthcare issues too, and they can do the same for you. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Call Debbie at I Will Advocates right now. Toll free 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326.
Oh, man. Oh, gotta do...
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious. Crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside. Everything homemade. Nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus.
Does anyone in the chat room remember Ron? Freaking weirdo.
Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Now, you call us on the air, not on Steve's cell phone, Steve. Okay, who's calling you on your cell phone? Don't they know you're on the air? Okay, I'm going to mute you while you take that call. I want to talk about Dr. Gupta and Brighton. They're still calling. You got it? Oh, okay. All right. You know, you want to take this call off the air? You want to talk to the bookie on the air? Talking to the bookie on the air would be interesting. I think maybe more interesting than what I got. Anyway, before we get back to the news, how many of you would like to hear Steve talk to the bookie on the air? That'd be awesome, just like the old days of Hank Goldberg. Remember?
Information.
I remember listening to Hank Goldberg, and he was a big sports talk guy. He was on ESPN, but he was local in this market, and his phone would ring during the show all the time, and it was his bookie too. I don't know what it is with you guys.
I did not get along. For life, at the end, we started to get along. For a lot of our relationship, we were, how should I say, at odds. Pardon the pun.
If you remind me after the show, we have a mutual friend, you and me with Hank Goldberg, and I'll tell you about it off the air. I don't know, is Hank Goldberg dead or alive? I could tell it on the air. You can't malign a dead person, but I don't trust your word. I got to verify that he's dead. I'll have to verify it. You probably, being from New York and being a Jew, you probably know a lot, like 4 Hank Goldbergs. Being a Jew and from New York, you probably know a lot of Hank Goldbergs. You probably know a lot of Goldbergs. There's a lot of Goldbergs in the Jewish community, Steve. I want to make sure that we're talking about the same Goldberg. And that's not Now, I don't want to tell it on the air right now.
Yeah, people call in from the audience. Everybody remembers it.
Well, I think people would love to hear the story. I got to think about telling that story on the air.
Oh, God. Your best stuff in the dressing room. Tell us.
Well, I want to tell people about Dr. Gupta and Brighton Dental, okay? Now, Dr. Gupta and Brighton Dental, this is a story I can definitely tell on the air. Yeah, I do too. And, Dr. Gupta, he's a great dentist. He's been with us here on the Steve Kane Show for many, many years. And there's 2 great things about Dr. Gupta. One, he's a top dentist. I mean, he just is. I mean, his work is fantastic. He's a highly skilled top dentist. And his prices are great. His prices are just very affordable. And I give you a great example of this. Richie the bus driver lives in Hobe Sound, which is in Martin County. Dr. Gupta in Brighton Dental is in Broward County. Richie the bus driver drives from Hobe Sound in Martin County, through all of Martin County, through all of Palm Beach County, and Palm Beach is a big county, I'm here to tell you. It takes about an hour to get there, to Broward County just to see Dr. Gupta because he does such great work and his prices are so great too. That tells you everything you need to know about Dr. Gupta. And we have a lot of listeners that drive very far to see Dr. Gupta for both of those reasons. Also, Dr. Gupta is a longtime listener of the Steve Kane Show. So when you go and meet with Dr. Gupta, it'll be like an old friend or a member of the family. You'll have a lot in common. Give him a call. His number, 954... What did I leave out?
Gupta, I keep reminding everybody, I'm a terrible dental patient. I don't like dental work, and I get very tense and very uptight, and my teeth are very sensitive. And so I usually used to dread going to the dentist, but Dr. Gupta has this incredible, I don't know whether to call it a bedside manner, that he just relaxes you, and you feel at ease, you feel secure and comfortable, and it gets, most of the unpleasantry with dentistry is anxiety, and he just eliminates that part of it. You feel at ease and dread those trips to the dentist anymore.
Well, let me give out his number. His number, Dr. Gupta's number is 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. Okay, now I'm getting text messages from people and emails. Everyone's telling me Hank Goldberg's dead. But Al Knight, who does weekends on our radio station, noon to 4 Saturday and Sunday, he's dying to know too. I'll just take some calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, here we go. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Once. Twice. Okay. No. I probably shouldn't have mentioned the Hank Goldberg story, Steve. I'm not going to tell it. I got to think about it. I'll think about it. I didn't say anything. Well, I haven't gotten any calls demanding. I've gotten some text messages. Some of these people, I don't even know who they are.
Demanding.
I'll tell you, off the air. Some people in radio, except, well, because listen. Radio guys, except for me and Steve. Yes, exactly. Radio guys, except for me and Steve, many of them have, interesting lives, okay, that you don't hear about on the air, and I just don't know.
Talk show, right?
I'll think about it, Steve. I will think about it. And then I'll definitely tell you off the air, but I'll think about it if it should be on the air. I know people want to know, and I'm not doing this to tease people, and I don't do those teases. Sometimes I say something and then I think for a second. And this is one of those times, Steve. I just thought for a second, which tells you it's a good story. All right, now, before before though we contemplate all these things, you know, it's being reported that Ron DeSantis is going to announce next week. There's two versions of this. Are you okay, Steve? All right. Well, you got to. All right. I'm going to mute you. You got to tell me so I can mute you before you go off. Okay. If you're on hold, stand by. I had to hit the dump button. I got to wait for the delay to build back up to take the calls. There's two versions of the story being reported about Ron DeSantis. One, he's announcing next week, and the other one, the announcement is imminent. So it may be next week. It may be the week after. We got two versions of the stories. Well, who cares? You got something better to talk about, Steve? I mean, if you don't care what I'm talking about, I mean, gee whiz. I'm turning it over to you.
But Hank Goldberg did it.
No, I'm not going to tell this story on the air. I'm not going to tell it right now on the air, Steve. I'm not going to tell it. I shouldn't have even mentioned it. Maybe I shouldn't even tell you off the air. I don't know. I was going to tell you off the air, but I'm thinking I may not. So what are you going to do, Steve? Go on strike for the rest of the show? Okay. 34 minutes. Okay. I will. If you want to sit out and do a silent protest and pout, that's fine.
Still angry from before I got in the air. I was angry today. And I mean, the idea that listeners are calling you up, asking permission.
No one is calling me up and asking me permission. No one's calling in.
Hold on. Asking permission to listen to, if they can listen, if it's okay that they listen to Fox Business, and you, I don't know where your rule book is. You tell them it's not okay for them to watch.
According to me.
Well, who are you?
They asked me. I didn't go on the air and say that. They asked me. Should they still watch Fox Business? I said no. Is that what made you mad?
Yes.
Why do you care?
It's just outrageous.
They asked me.
Good.
They asked me. It should be part of the boycott. Why did that make you mad?
Did this boycott?
No, but I'm a participant. Okay, all right. Well, this show is going down the tubes real quick, and this very well may be the longest 33 minutes in the history of radio. It very well may be, between, the pouting, the protest, and the coughing, and the anger. It could be a very, very long 33 minutes. But I'll tell you what, if it's long for us, it's going to be must-listen-to radio, because I know me. If I were listening and I were going to work, I would not miss the next 33 minutes, because things are going down the tubes real quick here with Steve and myself. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. You can be a part of this after the break. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Another scorcher for South Florida. We hit 92 yesterday in West Palm today, heading for about the same. Plenty of sunshine, and then we're going to unleash with some stronger storms later on this afternoon and evening. Under the UPVF 25 first warning, meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Turnpike northbound at Lake Worth Road, an overturned vehicle is still blocking 2 left lanes to stop the traffic now going back to Boynton Beach Boulevard. Your best alternate is to take 441 at this time to avoid the scene. Turnpike southbound is also pretty slow from Lake Worth Road back to Okeechobee. I-95 southbound, the usual delays from Lake Worth Road to Atlantic Avenue. Also on the northbound side from Deerfield Beach and Avoca. We still have a crash on Brandywine Road at the Point Drive. Also on Wellington Trace at Mulberry Place. This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Hey shoppers, this is a local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season right now. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com from the Florida Department of Agriculture. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
Traffic is service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Check out the inaugural Moneymaker Tour and the
Oh, you're my movers? Two men in a truck.
Good morning. I'm man number 1.
I'm man number 2.
And I'm man number 3.
Wait, I thought you were two men in a truck.
We are, but your move will go back.
What did I miss from Roger? I don't see a Roger in the chat. What did I miss?
Because we're the movers who care.
Well, come on in. Three men in a truck.
But you can still find us at twomenpalmbeach.com and twomentreasurecoast.com.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry for 40 years. We are originally from Connecticut, where our values and work ethic is second to none. We install all kinds
But he must have said something in a doozy.
in concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. We work with homeowners, HOAs, commercial properties, and churches. We are state of Florida licensed roofing and general contractors. At Laporta Contracting, family is what we are, and roofing and restoration is what we do. We help guide our customers to a successful outcome by constantly informing them every step of the way. At Laporta Contracting, let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or visit us on our website at laportacontracting.com. That number again is 954-604-4602.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Experience awe-inspiring landscapes and traverse the great Canadian Rocky Mountains on the Rocky Mountaineer Train with bi-level glass stone coaches, August 15th through the 20th. The only passenger rail service that runs on the historic rail route connecting Canada from east to west. Are you ready to embark on this unforgettable journey? Head to briantrain.com and request a brochure. Book your spot now and make memories that will last a lifetime. That's briantrain.com and request your brochure.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers.
The link to the Trump print is pinned in the chat. PatrioticPrintsUSA.com.
Babbel. Go to babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane
All right.
Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, we are back. Callers on hold. Stand by. I got to check. Are you with us, Steve? Yes, I am. Okay, all right. Okay. You want to take the calls? What do you want to do? Okay. I mean, I don't understand what's going on with you today. I don't understand what's happening. I feel sabotaged. I feel kind of... Oh, yeah. I know I'm doing fine. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Tom, Florida.
Hey, Tom.
Thomas, what's up? How you guys doing?
Good.
Nothing much. Steve, the past couple of weeks, buddy, I gotta say, man, you've been talking clear. You sound fantastic. I'm very proud and I'm happy for you, buddy. Second off, I gotta ask you a question. Do you think that because these poll numbers, that Trump's gonna be coming out so high, what happens? I heard that as soon as DeSantis announces, those numbers are gonna change because they're going from a who's running in a political view. DeSantis hasn't even run yet. So once they take that poll after he decides to run next week, we'll call DeSantis double-digit DeSantis, and you don't have to stop,
Well, I can only say, my friend, I can only say that I wish I knew you off the air and we were friends and that you were a betting man because I would love to take some of your money.
Let me give an example. Let me work too hard. I know, Tom.
A very hollow laugh. That sounded like a mirthless.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny. I really don't think that much. I work too hard.
Yeah, the idea of you being friends with Steve is funny. What a joke. That is funny. Tom,
I was waiting for you to interject something nasty and inappropriate. So there you go, buddy. You do without that.
It wasn't nasty. It wasn't inappropriate. It was an accurate observation of the situation. However, in the most recent poll in Florida, okay, among Republican voters, Trump versus DeSantis, President Trump has a 28-point lead. And that poll is asking the question, if the primary were held today, who would you vote for? So this idea that you have that when he announces, all these people are going to wake up that are MAGA and they're going to drop Trump, is that what you're suggesting?
No, I'm going to actually go with the national poll and not the MAGA poll that you keep taking.
Well, no. If you're the sitting governor of a state and you just won re-election and you're 30 points behind your opponent in a poll, you're not electable nationally if you can't even win your own state.
It's funny. They said, when Donald Trump lost the first time he ran.
No. Excuse me. Explain to me how Ron DeSantis can win nationally without winning Florida.
Well, in my personal opinion, Trump has already tied himself up. Trump forgot that he has the right to remain silent when he goes to these things, and he just loves to talk. That's his problem. And he is going to go have a lot of legal trouble over the next couple of years, and it's not going to help him running.
Let me ask you a question. Let's just talk like coherent human beings. If he is, if you feel that the legal issues are going to have such an impact, why have they not, with all the legal crap they've thrown at him for 20 years with the phony investigations, why is it that none of that has deterred the people from supporting him up to this point?
Steve, I understand exactly what you're saying, but Donald Trump is a professional in this. You notice that Donald Trump goes to jail, but Donald Trump...
Really? Can you...
But you dodged my question.
Everybody, hold on. Hey, Brian.
What's your name?
Tom.
You hold on. I'm your friend. Let's talk. Tom, you dodged my question. Let me repeat the question. It's a good question. They paid me to ask good questions, so they're worth paying attention to. Why is it, if the legal issues are going to be so detrimental to Trump's campaign, with everything they've thrown at him up to this point, including this disgraceful Russiagate that they tied him up with?
I agree.
It's a question. You can't agree with it. Hold on. You can't agree with the question. You have to answer. You can do two things with the question. Either answer it or dodge it. And so far, you've sort of dodged it. I'm going to give you another chance to answer it. Why, if these legal issues are so devastating, has it not shown, with all the crap they've thrown at him, why has it not showed up in the polls and the public still supports him? Well, certainly in the Republican Party. Why is that?
Absolutely. Because Donald Trump represents what happens to Americans all the time. They get beat up, they get picked upon, and you are absolutely right. Donald Trump has walked through rain the past 20 years of his life because here's my answer. He has perfected the art of his deal. He knows what he can and cannot do to get other people in trouble, so he doesn't. Plus, these new charges and everything. Especially for the insurrection when he told people to fight like hell and march down to the Capitol.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that. You're a liar. He didn't say that.
Okay. He didn't say you got to fight like hell.
No.
Giuliani, trial by combat.
Hold on. You're changing the subject. You're changing the subject.
I thought I just answered it.
No, you changed the subject. We were talking about Trump, and you very skillfully switched it over to Giuliani.
Skillfully.
Fortunately, we are more skilled than you, so we pointed it out, giving you a chance to really answer it. The answer to the question. Look. The course, this thing they pulled on him in New York recently.
Well, why, Steve?
Oh, hold on.
Why don't you
I'm
tell
gonna
me
try
what's
to-
the answer?
I'm gonna try to appeal to your sense of logic. I'm gonna talk to you like a
Okay.
human being, all right? So just be courteous. Let's go back and forth with this. This thing they pulled on him with Bragg in New York. They picked New York. Why did they pick New York to do this?
I believe that it's a very blue and,
Very
Trump
blue.
There, so it makes it
Very
a target
blue.
up there. Trump
All
Tower.
right, you're doing good. You answered it. All right, thank you for answering. You answered that right, but that's just the
You're
first
welcome,
part.
Steve.
Hold on, that's just the first part. The second part is,
No problem.
so they picked the most anti-Trump venue they could find. And what just happened last week? This incident in the subway with the guy rescuing.
Steve.
They opened the public that's so anti-Trump in New York to begin with. Opened up an account for support of the anti the populist position, let's say, that Trump represents.
Yeah.
That they raised $3 million. Does that sound like the stuff they pulled in New York with Trump has worked?
And well, you can't say that New York City has
just
against
did.
Donald Trump because Donald Trump is New York City. Okay, he grew up there. I mean, he had all his business dealings there. So, if people in his own hometown don't like him, that's his problem.
No,
Okay?
the point is the
Steve, they
hometown
are
does like
picking
it.
on. Listen, flying.
New York does like it.
Tom, you're a good caller, and I enjoy your calls, but you're very dishonest with this audience. Okay, why don't you tell us the real reason you don't like Trump? You've been calling in for a long time with your Trump hatred. What is it? Is it that he's a strong, successful man and you're a weak, unsuccessful man? What is it about Donald Trump that makes you dislike him? No, but lie to us, Tom.
You ready for this?
Why does he threaten you?
Exactly.
Hey, guys, Brian, you asked the question.
I think I hit on it, Steve. He got very defensive.
A size thing, or what is it?
Let me ask you a question. Are you guys interjecting radio-skilled stuff that's trying to upset me? Just listen.
I think we hit on it. I think we hit on it.
You guys, when there's a calm conversation, you guys can't even let it out. Hold on a second. All I'm telling you is the reason why I don't like your views, especially you, Brian. You spit things that have no basis or truth to it. You just hope that they end up real at the end of the week. And Donald Trump has nothing to do with him being a successful rich man or whatever. Everybody says Donald Trump will put him in front of you. Donald Trump.
So what is the thing that originally had you dislike him? You've called in for a long time not liking Trump. I gave a possible suggestion, and it seemed to hit a sore spot with you. And that's okay if you're intimidated by strong, successful men that are married to international supermodels. At least you'd be honest.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the beautiful, bright first lady we got going over there. I don't think we've seen that chick smile once.
Chick?
Yeah, the chick. The Russian chick.
She's not Russian. She's American.
She's not Russian?
But now you're getting...
Listen, we're at it. We're at it. He's jealous of Melania. Okay. Listen, you're very lucky because we got to run for the Gold Report. We'll be right back.
Hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals look today?
Solid upward, solid trend, just down around 1900.
William, we've got a bad cell connection with you today. We can give it a moment, or I can do the amateur gold report.
Yeah,
because I'm kind of in a dead zone.
Okay, yeah, you're cutting out. I'm getting like every other word or syllable. So we'll finish out the week tomorrow, but I'll do the amateur gold report today.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Now, today is an exciting day if you're in the metals, Steve. You know why? There's a big sale going on today. There's a big sale going on, in particular with gold. Gold right now is down 11.20 at 1971.70. So we've gotten a little bit down below that 2,000 level, which is, William Youngerman calls them buying opportunities. I call them a sale. Gold is on sale right now, and it's a great time. Silver's down 20 cents at 23.64. Platinum is down $1 at 1,080. Palladium down 25 at 14.89. So, this is one of those profit taking for some people, but it gives you an opportunity to come in and get more gold, get more silver, and get more platinum for your money while it is on sale. William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. Give him a call. His number is toll-free 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. And it's exciting. Steve, I think the metals is probably the only investment that when they're down, people get excited because there's that great opportunity to pounce and take advantage of the sale. You can find William Youngerman online at williamyoungerman.com or stop right in. He's located in Boca at 150 East Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, we'll be back right after this.
On the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show.
That's right. Oh, man. And, Steve, I got it. Yeah, well, before we do that, I want to tell everyone, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to go back to the phones. But first, I want to tell everyone about this incredible Sloman's free home security system and free doorbell camera with professional installation offer that is back. I have this doorbell camera. You will love it. It will make you and your family safer, and it's very convenient. What I use it most of the time is when somebody's coming to the door, I don't have to get up and see who's at the door. I can see them no matter where I am, and I can even talk to them no matter where I am. So if you are one of the first 40 listeners to call 833-283-5050, 833-283-5050, you'll get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman's Shield. Sloman's, they're also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You'll get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 833-283-5050, you'll get a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman's Shield. Okay, this is a limited time offer, and you got to be one of the first 40 listeners to call. Here's the number one last time, 1-833-283-5050, 1-833-283-5050. All right, Steve, would you have? Tom.
Tom that we talked to is an excellent caller.
Very good caller.
And I wish we had a dozen Toms that call, because at least he knows what he thinks. He puts up a fight, and he's not afraid to look like a fool, which is always helpful in dealing with adversary callers. The thing with Donald Trump, and why it doesn't matter that whether or not DeSantis declares, or when he declares, or looking for a vote from DeSantis. The bottom line of this race is DeSantis doesn't have it. Remember the it girl? That was my first wife, Helen Kane.
Yeah.
Boop boopy doo. Donald Trump is a master artist when it comes to dealing with people. He is captivating. He is charismatic. He has humor, which is at the core of all his greatness. And he has a way of saying things, cutting to the heart of the issue with humor and with a rapier-like wit that wins people over. Yes, he alienates some people, but whatever it is,
DeSantis doesn't have it.
Doesn't have it.
No.
He doesn't have it. And when he's compared, like even this last weekend when they didn't appear on the same stage, when they appear in the same weekend, it just points out how flat and dull and uninspired and how ordinary DeSantis is. And it's only going to become increasingly evident. He may pick up 3 or 4 or 5 points when he declares. It's going to be short-lived, and DeSantis is going to go the way. And the thing that fascinates me is DeSantis knows it. DeSantis is scared to death because he knows what's coming. He knows once he declares, he knows he's going to enter that buzzsaw and he's going to get chopped to ribbons, and he's not looking forward to it. That's why he delays and he delays and he delays, because for all his bravado, he's scared to death, and that's the most rational thought he has, to tell you the truth, because he is going to get hacked.
And what has freaked out DeSantis are these polls we're talking about. DeSantis has had a very blessed life, okay? He's been very successful and very smart. He was in the Little League World Series. And all that. Well, this is the first time in his life that he's faced rejection. He's never faced rejection before. And he's always been the top dog. He's not. He's becoming a punchline. And that's a very difficult thing for a man who's had an A-list blessed life to face and deal with.
A ridicule as a candidate in politics, you are finished.
Oh, yeah.
That is what has happened to Ron already. And whoever is cutting those commercials for Donald is brilliant, is great. I mean, I watched them, and you can just imagine what DeSantis says. He sits there and is mocked with these wonderful, wonderful spots that Donald has running. So it's going to be Trump, and it's going to be obvious quick.
Well, I think he's still going to announce, based on what we're seeing right now, because but when he announces, you say, who cares? It's not going to be interesting. It's going to be fascinating, because the true ridicule by Donald Trump is going to begin then. What President Trump has been doing is just giving him some warning shots. He really hasn't gone after him yet. He's just been giving him some warnings, and the moment that he announces, it's on. All right, let's take some calls. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, it's Stacy from Deerfield Beach.
Hey Stacy.
How are you? Hey, listen, Steve. I'm looking at the
Oh, we lost you. Go ahead. Start over. You're looking at what?
I'm looking at the Preakness. I think it's going to be M-A-G-E.
Yeah, the winner of the Derby.
The winner of the Derby.
The favorite. It wouldn't surprise me, but I won't know till I talk to my guy after the show.
And one more question, Brian. What painting are you looking at as far as the Donald Trump painting? Because I went online and there was multiples of it.
Okay, if you go to patrioticprintsusa.com, that's Prince with an S, patrioticprints.com. It's the one where you have Donald Trump in front of the White House, and it says 45 and 47 on the front of it. It's that one.
In front of White House.
Yes. Oh yeah, even for yourself as a woman, buy yourself this print. You'll love it. I've got 2 of them.
Yeah, because I went online, there was so many multiples of them and so forth.
Well, it comes in different sizes, so you can pick which size you want. But you can, if you go to Patriotic Prints, that's Prince with an S, patrioticprintsusa.com. It's the one with our great president in front of the White House. All right?
Exactly. And what you said about President Trump is so true. It's a word of wisdom. You are on the nail, both of you.
All right. Take care. Thanks for the call. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, Juan from Coral Springs.
Oh, hey, Juan.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, listen, the one thing that I haven't heard from you guys, DeSantis is just president in 2028. What they do, and I've always said
Well,
this.
he's doing the wrong thing. He's doing the
Yeah,
wrong thing.
well,
If he's
I
planning
agree.
on running in 28, it's a huge mistake. He should
I-
have stood back. He was in a perfect spot to do that. He should have been an ally of Trump. He should have let Trump take his turn.
I agree with that. I agree with that,
Take
Steve.
his turn
That's why
this
I've always
time.
said. That's why the last 3 or 4 calls that I've always said, and the MAGA voters are the most educated voters. We're not going to go with DeSantis. I mean, I love our governor, but there doesn't have to be this divide. The thing is that he's paving out his way, but.
Well, hold on a second. DeSantis. Okay, but Juan, the divide that you're seeing was caused by DeSantis when he said he would not take a position on the Bragg kangaroo issue with Trump in that grand jury in New York when he was doing Soros's bidding. He started the divide.
Yeah, that was wrong. But, you guys have been saying it. He's a rookie politician compared to Trump. All right? And I've always said it, and I'll end this call. Trump first, and the MAGA voters know that.
Okay, I like that. And, Juan, last Friday's show was not Trump first. He was big on DeSantis, so we have won him over. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. Good morning, Steve. Good to hear you both. Listen, I wanted to close with this. The other thing that Donald Trump has is humanity.
Mm-hmm.
He's a real person, and he cares about people. Joe Biden hasn't gone to East Palestine, Ohio yet.
Well, with DeSantis, there's a term. It's not a new term, but it's becoming more used. Is an imposter. He's got this image, and he doesn't feel confident with it. He's not as confident as we thought we were, and he knows he screwed up. He knows he screwed up. He blew it. And, that's why he's not in Florida so much. That's why he's up at these Republican meetings in New Hampshire and Iowa, because let me tell you, Ron DeSantis, if he goes to a place in Florida right now, he's going to get booed.
I think Steve is spot on, and he said he had his opportunity, and he blew it.
He's had several. Yeah, all right, take care. Nick in Baltimore. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from me, Brian.
Hey, Jeff.
Ron DeSantis has no charisma like Trump. And if all the things Trump has done his whole life was to be shown his goodness to humanity, to helping people, you could not put it in a show. The list would be so long. He is a humanitarian, and he loves his country.
Trump is for real. That's the difference.
He's for real, Steve.
And he can't be bought. He can't be bought.
There is nothing that could sway him to change anything he believes. I truly believe that.
And let me give an example real quick, because we're almost out of time. President Trump did DeSantis a favor by releasing that picture of him with the high school girls at that party. And the reason Trump did that, if DeSantis became the nominee, those girls, they'd be interviewed on CNN by Caitlin Collins probably at this point. And they'll tell the story whether or not it's true or not. The reason he seems electable to these people is they're blinded by their Trump derangement syndrome. And also, DeSantis has really been given a free pass by the media. Hey, Jeff, we got to run. We're out of time for today. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back tomorrow. And Friday's show, of course, is Open Phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. That's tomorrow. So if you're on hold and you hang on till tomorrow, you'll be first in line tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. when we go live. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane has been here. This, of course, is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Oh, man, and I didn't even get to half of the breaking news that we had to share with you this morning, but that's okay. We'll be here tomorrow. God bless America, and, of course, God bless the greatest president this country has ever seen. That's Donald Trump, and it's Patriotic Prince, USA.com for that great print, Prince with an S. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD.
All right, guys. I got to run. See you later. Thanks for watching.